really, at the end of the day, it's just the matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
That's why it's really important to have a plan. Have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this Degen?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom, so we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right?
None of this is financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Welcome to the Degen Roundtable for our fantastic Sunday show. Tonight, we're going to be interviewing Crypto Black Sheep and Dev Donnie from the Degen Protocol, the GOAT token guys. These guys got some fantastic protocols going on, some excellent systems and things that they have built on their website, and I'm super stoked to get into it all. So we'll do a quick, before we get into any of the protocols, we're going to do a quick run of introductions. For the folks at home who might be watching us for the first time, my name is Will Stevenson. I'm the Degen Roundtable's sort of kind of network guy. I go around and find people and interview stuff, and I do IRL meetups. And I guess I also post a lot of links in chat sometimes, and I chat a lot about silly things. But moving right along, Mr. Zenith, the folks who might not know who you are, can you give us a brief description of who you are, what you do, and what's been going on with you in the near future? And then we'll hop on over to Nate, and then we'll introduce our guests.
Absolutely. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. I got a Guinness myself here. But yes, I am a host contributor, and I do a little bit of behind-the-scenes project coordination going on here. I focus on technical analysis, government, and legal analysis as well. And then overall, just trying to put out as much good content as we possibly can. Speaking of which, other guy that puts out great content, Nate. What about yourself?
Well, yeah, so... yeah, it's my people's day. It's Irish today, right? It's Irish Day today. So got myself a screwdriver for that one. But yeah, we're here to have a great time. I have not heard of this protocol, or maybe I've heard of it. I just haven't studied it. Oopsies, I did not do my own research. Well, anyways, it's good to have these guys here though, because they're going to be talking about it. And yeah, they're I kind of want to bump it over to the asshole in charge to talk first, quite frankly, over here. So,
yes.
What Mr. is Crypto, up, Black Sheep?
Mr. Crypto Black Sheep, can you tell the folks at home who don't know you, who you are, what you do, and just a quick little intro and whatnot, and then we'll pass it over to Donnie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, I've been in crypto since basically back in the BitConnect days. Got in about 2017. I think it'll be almost 7 years now. So. At the end of 2017, I started this Telegram channel, which is now, it's been called many things along the way, but it is now officially the Degen Protocol. We've actually trademarked the name and the logo and all that. So yeah, we've been through a lot of ups and downs over the last decade or so. But it's been a lot of fun. We've made a lot of good friends. We started off with about 5 people. Now we got about 3,500 people in there, and it's it's a way of life for me, man. I can't see me doing anything else. Now we got from BitConnect to Pulse Chain, and now we got such great opportunities, that, we feel like this is it for us. And we appreciate you guys letting us come on.
Oh no, we might have rugged. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, that's okay. We're going to probably experience this a few times throughout the stream, and that's perfectly all right. This damn T-Mobile getting after him, throwing sand up in his antenna and stuff. Mr. Donnie, would you mind introducing yourself on the folks at home, who you are, what you do, and a little bit of that sort of thing?
100%. Thank you very much for having us on here, guys. So I'm Don Function, Donnie D. You can call me Donnie. Basically, I am the developer and engineer of Degen Protocol. I have basically been in crypto since about 2017, started on Ethereum Classic, where they live and breathe the words code is law. Sort of learned how to write smart contracts after, specializing in web development. Joined Degen Protocol about 2.5 years ago. And I've been rolling with these guys ever since. Now we're here on Pulse Chain. And what can I say? We're here, we're building for our community. And that's basically all there is to it. I got I do the website, I do the smart contracts, the Telegram bots, basically the everything to do with anything on chain that Degen Protocol makes is, somehow there's my fingerprint on it, So
That is super cool, bro. I love it. And I love your guys' website too. It's super fun. The UI is really easy to work with. The like hopping around and finding stuff is super easy, both for the Degen protocol and also for the island is the new one, right? Is it called Island Paradise or Island? What's that one about?
Oh, so that one is actually my other project, Function Island. That one there is a little
Function
bit of a
Island.
different one. But basically, yeah. So what you'll notice about those two sites is that they are built off of the exact same UI framework. I've got a specific template that I've been building and honing over the last few months, and because it implements all of the basic things that I'd need to make a DApp, then I can just sort of built a fresh coat of paint over it, put the branding in, and then bang, whatever contract is necessary, I've got a DApp for whatever's out there, and that's sort of my claim to fame, I guess, So yeah, Function Island is more like a yield optimizer under construction, but yeah, today I'm going to focus right here on Degen Protocol.
Excellent. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
And speaking of Degen Protocol, I guess we'll just launch right into the topics of conversation. Some of the stuff that we're going to be covering for the folks at home, if none of you guys have ever gone to the Degen Protocol before, it is degenprotocol.io, correct? Oh shoot,
That's right.
Man. Okay, sweet. I can remember it off the top of my head. Excellent. So yeah, it's degenprotocol.io, and it's super cool. They've got a whole bunch of features on there. They do NFT validators. So for those of you guys who don't have like 32 million pulse or you want to start the validating game at like a lower level, these guys set up a function where you basically can put in 500,000 pulse into and buy an NFT that represents 1/64th of a regular validator. And you guys are working together with David Feeder on this. Am I correct?
That's right. Yeah. So basically, once we got our initial deployment on Pulse Chain going, which was Goat Token and the Goat Feeder from October through November of last year, December, we decided that our deliverable was going to be the validator NFTs. So like you described, we basically like to describe that a pod or one stake of NFTs is 64, right? So they go for 500,000 pulse a piece. And then, obviously 64 times 500K is 32 million. So that makes a stake. And we actually have David Feeder from validatorstore.com running our validator nodes for us and making sure that they stay online and maintained. So it's been very, very productive. We've got over 2,500 of those NFTs minted so far. And possibly the coolest thing about them is that they actually feature artwork from our community. We actually have several of our people using an AI image generator to generate pictures of goats, right? And so they actually submit those pictures into our Telegram, and we threw those on the validator NFTs.
Yeah.
So it actually gives there's elements of artwork, there's elements of revenue share because the validators produce rewards, and so we push that out to the NFT holders as Goat Token. And then there's also the decentralization of Pulse Chain, which is ultimately what it's all about. To sum up validator NFTs, I could say we really did that to lower the entry barrier. Like you described before, not everybody has 32 million pulse. Not everybody can maintain a network of computers. Not everybody knows how to do all that networky server type management stuff. And, your stake will get slashed if you go offline or if something happens and you don't know how to recover it quick. So to have an expert on our side and to lower that barrier all in the same bundle, we just thought that was a really good thing to bring to Pulse Chain. So
that was the thing that got me into the Degen protocol at first, because I was hanging out I was a part of the Hex conference, and I think I spoke either right before or right after David Feeder or something like that, and I was chilling in the green room with him and Sticker Guy, and he was talking a little bit about that sort of thing, and then he went on and made a video after the Hex conference, I believe, and that's when he was talking about it. And I was like, "Oh snap! These guys, the Degen stuff, that's part of our name." And then I find out, like, "Oh snap! These guys have been around for fucking like 5 or 6 years or some shit." Like y'all been streaming what every day for, let's see, 1,240
I think. Yeah, 1,245 days in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's impressive, man. That is fucking impressive. We were glad that we had done almost a year of just pretty consistent Sunday streams, but like 1,200 and almost
Yeah,
1,250 days in a row, dude. That's
every
awesome.
single day, man. I
So, hang on.
I wanted to catch up to Hexologist's record, and I think I smashed it. So.
Oh yeah. What's Hexologist do? That's the doctor guy, right?
Yeah. I think his record was like he did like 900 or 600 or 900 or something like that in a row. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
good guy,
bro. That's good
yeah,
stuff.
I don't know if you guys heard everything I said before I cut out.
Mhm.
Did you get my story and all that? Because it's it's
We got-
T-Mobile's time, like high network time of day, so they usually do this. But yeah, it's working good now.
Well,
But yeah,
why don't you go
appreciate
ahead
being,
and
like
go
being
go
here.
ahead and give us a quick rundown for however much we missed. You've been in the space since BitConnect for quite a
Yeah.
long time, and you guys have built this protocol more or less after Pulse Chain launched.
Yeah, we did a little
that's
practice run over there on Kronos because we were waiting for the whole 2 years
Mhm.
after we sacrificed for this thing. So we did like a training wheels launch over there on Kronos. We had a different type of contract we were working with over there, and it was okay, but it was but we launched at the top of the market. That was the horrible thing, because then everything just as you can see that at the top of that market everything just crashed and burned. So it was like. But now we learned a lot of and that's you don't always get it right the first time, and that's why so some people were trying to say that even like Matty Allen, he was out there trying to call me a scammer on the X conference stream. And and I was like, no, man, and I met him personally the other night. We shook hands and he gave me a free T-shirt and shit. I'm like, no way, I'm totally, I stand against scammers all the way. I've been all about my community the whole time. We just happened to just launch to the top, and we learned our lesson, and we definitely corrected our mistakes. And this time we had a really good launch. You couldn't have got it any perfect than launching at the very bottom of Pulse Chain, because we got a lot of upside potential. And
Hell
yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, so I like it, man. I like it. And so I'm gonna rewind a little bit, because I started off with the NFTs, and I should have started with the GOAT token. But before we do that, I'm gonna do a quick round of community shout outs just to highlight all the folks that we got here in the chats. So thank you, Mrs. Producer, for starring these comments. We've got Patton9, let's fucking go. We are Degens. We got Barefoot Clip Show, Bang Bang Degen Gang. I'm guessing he's part of the Vets in Crypto fan group. They like the bang bang. We got Crypto Yeti, the generous winner of the token that ended up, or the ticket that went to me earlier today with the hashtag Dick and Zipper.
Right.
Good shit, Dre Sims. We got our Dre Sims, the BBC checking in and lurking. Dre is allegedly black. That's what he claims. I've seen him before, and I'm not convinced. So we'll see, Mr. Dre. We'll see one day. Next up, we got Angry Twinkie. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Absolutely. It's a fantastic weekend. Happy St. Patty's Day to everybody out there. I hear rumor that it's St. Patty's Day. Yep, we got ENJ, Luna.
My right hand man right there.
Oh, ENJ, you know this feller?
Yeah, he's part of our community. Yeah, he's on our streams every day.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I see he's got the wrench there. So I'm guessing you guys are dual casting this. That is fantastic, reaching as many people as possible.
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Then we got Luna C Point saying hello, hey Degens, Mindatron with the fuck that like button. I like it. And then Daniel Robar, hi everyone. Hello, Daniel. It's good to have you. And then Joseph Smith talking about your internet being messed up. Yeah, that's crazy. I love it. So you're getting caught up in all those Vegas sandstorms, and the sun's baking your internet away, and now you're all stuck in everything.
Yeah, I feel right at home over here.
Yeah, bro. Yes, yeah. Swearing's allowed. We do all the degenerate stuff. We're all Degens over here at the Degen Roundtable and the Degen Protocol.
I like it.
Fuck yeah. All right, yeah. So the first topic is the GOAT ecosystem. So Zenith, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you, Zenith. Why don't you go ahead and ask away your question to these fine gentlemen, since you've put it so eloquently.
Sounds good. So just wanted to start off by talking about the ecosystem as a whole, because you guys have more than just one project or one token that's going on here. So just wanted to open the floor. You have a quick rundown of all the different products and how they fit together. And then the question that I want to ask is, what inspired you guys to build these things, and why did you choose this instead of anything else?
You want me to get this one, bro?
Yeah, go ahead, Donnie.
All right, cool as. So, guys, basically, yeah, you're absolutely right. We got multiple different pieces that work together under this whole ecosystem. First and foremost, we're entirely on Pulse Chain. Degen Protocol exclusively wanted to be on Pulse Chain to get started. So we actually have Goat Token first and foremost, which was launched in October of 2023 alongside our feeder application. So first point to keep in mind is that Goat Token is the core of everything that we do, right? It is minted using single asset backing of W Pulse, and you can redeem it at any time for the single asset backing of W Pulse, right? You redeem Goat, you get W Pulse out of the contract. Okay, so it's single asset backed for every token that is minted, right? You cannot mint tokens without placing that backing in there. Every time there is a mint and redeem, there is a 5% fee on the amount of W Pulse that stays in the contract, and that helps to build up that single asset backing as volume is applied to that ecosystem. So, with this in mind and how that works, we have built every single one of our other contracts to hit those mint and redeem functions whenever possible. We don't generally use the DEX functions to buy or sell our token. Instead, we're focusing on that first party liquidity, and you'll understand why that's important as we explain the feeder. So, Goat Token being the core of it all, we built Feeder as the first thing on top, right? Feeder is a fork of the Elephant Money futures contract, which we brought over here to Pulse Chain, and then we adapted to use Goat as its backing as well. So people basically throw DAI into the feeder, and they earn 0.5% daily on their balance in the feeder. 90% of what's deposited in gets turned into Goat. The other 10% stays in a buffer pool to service claims. Yeah, basically the reason why it all goes into Goat is because of that backing, right?
Would you like me to share my? Can I share my screen so we can get a visual on what we're talking about here? Do you guys mind or?
We
Yeah, go for it.
absolutely can.
Oh, okay.
Please do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me go ahead and get that up real quick.
Mhm.
And we'll just give
Real
you
quick.
the visual rundown so everybody can.
Well, you guys are doing
So
that.
we
Big
know.
shout out to our boy Antoine in the chat, dropping that $100 super chat. Here's Antoine dropping stacks on us
Yeah,
all the time.
woo!
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Antoine. Big shout out to you. Can't stay for the whole show, but much love to the boys and looking forwards to learn about it to the Degen protocol. Keep killing it, my dogs. By the way, I networked a little bit in Miami too in Miami, Will. Yes, he did. Antoine
Nice.
got a lot of connections when we were down there in Miami degenning it up. So big shout out to Antoine. I met him in real life. Super cool, awesome guy. If you guys are ever down in Miami or in the Florida area, hit him up. But yeah, go ahead and jump into this back into this explanation, gentlemen, if you don't mind.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, and awesome, by the way. That's a really cool shout out and super chat you guys got there. So
Love it.
Goat Token is minted and redeemed, right? In everything that we do, and the feeder does on top of that, right? It does so at a mint and redeem price. Let's go back up the page for a minute, Sheep.
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Right. So you see that top row on the left-hand side in the middle, there's two green numbers, right? 1.3771, that is the mint and redeem price. Okay. So people pay 1.3771 pulse to mint, and they get the same amount if they redeem, right? And the other price, 1.3052, that is the price of Goat Token on Pulse X, right? So there's two different price points. Now, as you can probably guess from having two different price points there, if there is enough of a spread, then people start to arbitrage between those two prices, right? They start to either mint extra Goat Token and then sell it on the DEX if there's a higher price over there, or they come along to the DEX, they buy up the token when it's cheaper, and they redeem it for the higher value in the contract. Either way, the end result is that our mint redeem price, it's actually hard-coded to only go up. That mint redeem price will only ever go up, never down, right? Can mechanically never, ever, ever go down. And so what actually happens is the DEX price is also dragged upways as people continue to leverage that little arbitrage opportunity, right? And we actually see people and bots do this every single day. We've actually got a little a transaction bot running in our Telegram that shows us, people taking advantage of this all the time. Overall, this means that people are encouraged to add more value to our ecosystem, either by minting or by buying and holding Goat or going into the feeder, because it backs everything and it rises with every single transaction. Overall, I'd say these contracts were created to give our community a first place to start when we onboard new people, being on Pulse Chain, everyone's looking to onboard, and as we bring more people in, we feel that, the best place to put them is going to be something that we grow at home first. So yeah, that's kind of why Goat Token and Feeder and everything else that we build was created. Yeah.
Yep. It's like I call it single asset staking on crack, because if you just if you had gotten our ecosystem the day we launched, October 16th, you'd actually be up 37% on your bag, almost close to 40% on your bag of Pulse in a matter of what we just hit our 5th month, I think it was, Donnie. So about 5th month,
fifth month or thereabouts.
I remember when I
and then all you're gonna and then to redeem it, you're just gonna take the you have a 5%. A 5% max, what do you call
tax.
it?
The 5% on the W Pulse amount. Yeah.
Yep.
That's super. I remember when I had first bought that stuff, it was something around like 2 and some 1.2 and some change. And so like just watching that number rise up essentially every day it's a really nifty, really nifty thing you guys got there. It reminds me a lot of the kind of like the rocket pool idea, but different because it's not it's like it's live. There's no like staking function or anything. It just the tax thing makes it increase in value, and it only goes up.
Only goes
exactly
up.
Right.
That's it.
I love
this
it.
This is a really good point of uniqueness for your guys' protocol from what I've seen, which is that because you started out as being like the pseudo pegged to Pulse and it only goes up from here, it's not like you're launching your own token that has to have its own tokenomics, support community liquidity, and everything behind it. You're pretty much just piggybacking off of Pulse, which everyone in this ecosystem pretty much believes in 100%. So this is, in my mind, this just it feels like a home run.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you can see like we're actually we actually passed the sacrifice price before Pulse did. So and we're going to continue to outpace it right now. We're at 1767, I think. What is Pulse at right now? It's at 135. So yeah, we're definitely outpacing it, and we will always outpace it, So like
our whole ecosystem has been down a little bit.
At the time we should be at like 2 pennies or something, So you'd be way ahead, just sitting in GOAT. And we're about to turbocharge this thing too with all the new the next product we got coming, which is going to basically just turn that mint redeem function all the time, constantly, every time somebody comes in and out. So, but yeah, that's the gist of the GOAT. Like right now, we have 7 billion PLS in there, just about $1 million in liquidity, which puts us, if you look at the charts out there, we're somewhere right around the top. We're in the top 10 to 15 out of the entire chain right now as far as liquidity goes. So last time I checked, I can't remember where we were, but let me see actually. It puts us right. Yeah, it puts us right about where Teddy Bear is, just below Teddy Bear, as far as single asset backed liquidity. So I mean, and people are like, if you look at our we only have 48K on the DEX, but on Pulse X, but this is not where the value is. This is this gives you value because you can arbitrage and you can make money going back and forth between the pools, but the actual value is right here because that's where people can actually always cash out, even if the liquidity were to not be there.
Theoretically, the way I like to express it to everyone is basically theoretically, if everything on Pulse Chain, heaven forbid, went tits up today, right? And Goat Token was the last thing standing, everyone would still be able to get their Goat tokens and get some Pulse back for redeeming them, right? That's the effect of having single asset backing like that. And, might I say as well, the Goat token contract actually has no permissions, no owner controls, we can't even renounce the contract because it was renounced from creation. That's how hands off it is.
Yeah,
what does that mean for the more peanut brain folks? It's just basically
we deployed it, we never owned it, and it's locked code.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's immutable. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we like it. We sit there and run, and nobody can ever rug it, type thing.
Yeah.
Not that we ever would anyway.
When projects out there say that they had to renounce their token, it means that they had permission controls on there somewhere. But we don't have any of that on Goat token. Mm-hmm. So basically, like I said, it was renounced from day dot, and completely just self runs, and what more can I say?
I like it. So can I would like to I would like to run through these little tabs you guys got up on the top. So basically, the first
sure.
one just describes the goat stuff. The second one, are these in like any particular order of like importance or anything, or is this just kind of arbitrary?
It was that one for
Yeah.
me was sort of more like a what feels good type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more of a design choice. Goat token being the first on the left there is it's the first thing that people visit after the homepage, right?
Yep.
And especially when you squish this down to mobile phone view, it's also the first thing in the top of the list underneath the home tab, and so it goes in order as well. Goat, NFTs, feeder, lottery, LP staking. But yeah, it's all there just to be relevant with one another. If you click on the NFTs tab, Sheep.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. So you can see here that this is basically where you get into the validator NFTs. On the right-hand side, you've got your batch mint control, where you can type in how many you want. There's actually a little toggle switch there as well, where you can decide if you want to send those NFTs to a different address. If you're buying a gift for somebody, if you got a wallet that you want to send it to directly without transferring again later, or, whatever the case may be, you can send it wherever or just mint it to yourself. And yeah, I mean, there's also the list and delist controls on this page for reselling your NFTs. That's actually probably another cool feature about the NFTs we didn't touch on yet, is we actually have a facility for people to resell their NFTs as part of the validator program too. So what people can do, if for some reason you don't want your NFTs anymore, or if you want out, right? Don't know why you would, but that's up to you. You can list your NFTs for resale. And what will happen is that if there are any NFTs listed for resale and someone comes along to buy some NFTs or to mint some, it'll actually buy those NFTs that are listed first before it mints fresh ones. And so you will receive 480,000 pulse worth of the 500,000 pulse that it costs to mint, right? You'll receive that in GOAT token, and that person that bought or came to mint will actually receive your NFT that you listed for resale. Right? So basically, we provide a way out that serves you and your interest of getting out before we keep, inflating our NFT supply, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like I said, when you resell your NFT, you get 480,000 pulse worth of GOAT. There's a 20,000 pulse worth of GOAT fee that goes to the GOAT pen, which again helps to back the feeder application that we'll share about too.
Yep, and we currently have about 40, Donnie? 40 full validators running.
Yeah, 40 full validators producing rewards and running today. Yep. And then once we get through that resale queue, then we'll eventually get some fresh mints and more pulse to create more stakes.
So one quick little point of importance that I think the folks at home need to know about, and I've heard you guys talk about this before, is that if people decide to sell their NFTs, once they put them in the sell batch where it automatically sells them, they no longer receive the rewards for that that
Correct.
NFT is printing and
so
stuff.
if you choose to list your NFT for resale, you won't get rewards while it's in the resale queue. You need to have it in your wallet to be counted for rewards.
Yeah. And then so while it is in the resale queue, is it sending the rewards into like the GOAT pen? Is it sending it to all the other staker guys?
It's sending it to all the guys that are holding the NFTs in their wallet.
Oh, sweet. So the more people that are in the resale, the higher percentage that I get. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. So
you can cabbage hands out. That's absolutely fine, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to give everyone else a pat on the back for staying longer.
I like it. Yep. I had heard you guys mention in one of your streams that one of the things you guys plan on doing at some point, and this isn't in the works yet, is you guys want to create an auto buyback function to where the protocol can buy the NFTs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that actually comes in. That goes in line with some of my research that I've been doing and a couple of the interesting contracts I've built. One that I call Tsunami Pool, actually. Basically, it grabs Pulse, it throws it at 3 different protocols, Impulse Finance, Liquid Loans, and Pulse X, the LP farms. It sort of farms the respective assets, dumps all of them straight back into Pulse, and then uses the Pulse output of all that to generate a stream which we can buy back the NFTs with. It's still under construction, still under research, and from calculations, I think we're going to need to find 20 large from somewhere to make that run to where we can buy like 1 NFT a day or something like that. But yeah, it's all definitely stuff that we're into. one of the things which we've been afforded in running this protocol is our ability to compose DeFi and contracts with other protocols as well. Like we've already been working with SparkSwap. We worked with Impulse as well, which I'll tell you a little bit more about later. Yeah, there's just so much good going on. Yeah,
that is too cool.
We're loving it.
I'm going to jump back in here with you guys. So
go ahead.
A lot of moving pieces in this ecosystem. But why did you guys choose to build off of this instead of any other idea? So we've got Go Token, we've got the feeder, we've got the NFTs. In my opinion, it seems like the validator NFTs is the most novel idea here. So what inspired you guys to go that route?
Yeah, with the NFTs, it was funny because David Feeders, he's been hanging out in our Telegram for a while, and someone just randomly said in one of the chats, "What do we do? Something about?" And we'd already had the idea in our head, but me and Donnie were talking about it before that. Somebody came up with the idea to basically do NFTs for the validators because David Feeder had been hanging out with us for a while, and he loved he's actually in the feeder, and he likes because feeder rocks the feeder is what we say. And so he was like, I was like, yeah, David, is this something that's possible? Do you want to get back and talk about it? And we had a meeting with them. How quick did we knock it out, Don? It wasn't even that long. Maybe about a month or so. We had everything
I
coded.
shit you not. It literally took us 2 voice chat meetings, which lasted maybe 15 minutes each. The first one was basically a floating of the idea. The second one was like, right, now let's get this thing rolling. And then, by December, we had the thing constructed and rolling out the door. So,
yeah. Very cool.
That's fantastic. So, I got to say, one of the trends I think I've been seeing in the NFT space in particular is that we're seeing NFT used for a lot more use cases other than just owning a JPEG image. And this is a great example of that because it opens up the validator market to people that don't have, I crunched the numbers today, it's about $4,600 to just worth a pulse chain alone to start the validator on top of all the hardware that you're going to have to get unless you also pay someone else to run it, as opposed to this project, which allows you to have like pretty much fractionalized validators, and you're also paying a small fee of your validation profits to pay for someone else to have the hardware and run it. So that's good for me. Do you guys see any other trends in the NFT space as far as like actual use cases?
Wait a minute. So Zenith, what you're saying is that all you need to do is buy an NFT to be a validator.
Correct. So you're part of a validator. So I'm going to try to summarize this for you guys real quick.
Fractionalized validating.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like real estate almost.
You go around, you gather enough people to put in money. Once that enough chunk of change is hit to create a validator node, the validator is created, and then ownership is dispersed into the NFTs. And then you can sell the NFTs if you want, but they go into the queue to get sold out. But the idea here is that you don't need all of the 32 million pulse to start the validation. All you need is 500,000, which is a lot more attainable for the average person.
And every 64 that we have minted, we send that money off to David Feeder, and he fires up a new node, and we're off to the races. So we have currently 40 up and running right now.
Hey, that's good.
He's right. The other thing to keep in mind as well, and I touched on this before, is that when you are running your own validators, it does pay to have a specialist, in control of all of that, because if you don't know what you're doing with networking hardware, if your home internet conks out for whatever reason, if you got computer problems, there's any number of reasons why that $32 million, that 32 million pulse stake of for that validator could get slashed as a result of faulty network performance or whatever. Yeah. So we reduced that risk portfolio by doing what we do the way we do it.
Yeah, we weren't going to work with anybody else. If we were going to do this, it wasn't going to be with anybody else but someone who really knew what the hell they were doing. And obviously, validatorstore.com is at the top of the list. He runs half the blockchain. So, I think we're in good hands with David Feeder.
Yeah, David Feeder definitely seems like the guy for this. But also, just to double tap on the point, if you are running your own validator, if your validator goes offline for any reason or has issues, it's not like you just miss out on profits. My understanding is you actually get penalized for it, as in you will start to go negative.
That's what I mean by slashing. That's what slashing is.
You will lose PLS.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah. So when we I'm going to try to pull what I remember is when you guys actually do have an NFT, the validator share that you get is about 80% of the total revenue, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
we disperse 80% out to our ecosystem. The other 15 goes to the goat pen as goat tokens, and the goat pen is actually what backs the goat feeder. That's where all of the goat feeder collateral is stored, right? So the validator NFTs are also supporting feeder and its sustainability over time. Core principle in that thinking is the more goat token in the goat pen, the easier it is for us to over collateralize people's deposits. Thus, we can pay out balances and profits with more sustainability over time, right? But yeah, so basically, the other 5% gets broken between David Feeder, King Cos, who also helped us with the contracts, and I think the rest is actually still thrown into the goat pen anyway. So.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. So I guess it's like a top line summary for anybody that wants to buy a validator NFT. Understand that you are sacrificing a very small amount, like 20% of the validation rewards. However, 15% goes back into the entire ecosystem, which you did just buy into by buying a validator NFT, and then about 5% goes towards the actual project founders. And as it's the tax or the cost, so to speak, of using the product. You're still making money,
Exactly.
but there's a small fee skimmed off the top to help pay the people that put it together.
Exactly. We needed to make sure that David was able to cover, equipment costs, electricity, that sort of thing. There's always going to be a cost associated with that sort of thing. So, yeah.
I know many Bitcoin miners out there can agree with you that like electricity cost is a thing, but for the average person that doesn't actually do validation or run nodes or run Bitcoin farmers, they don't really take into the account the cost of electricity because it's kind of just that bill you pay on a monthly basis and not give a whole lot of thought to.
So this
really is
this
good
is
too.
Oh, go ahead, Nate. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that this protocol is absolutely fantastic when it comes to actually building new validators. Then, because quite frankly, with you participating in it, then funds the guy who wants to build more of them, which means it becomes more decentralized, technically.
Yep.
Bro, I remember when this stuff first started coming out. I was like, whoa, this is nuts. This is crazy. I posted it in our little crypto casino chat where we talk about our little degenerate plays and everything. And I was like, I don't know anything about this. It sounds like a total like crazy balls out idea, but I'm gonna fucking give it a go. And I bought a shit ton of the NFTs, and it's been smooth sailing ever since. I love this NFT thing. And one of the cool things is, so you guys were talking about that 20% tax. You can actually capitalize on 15% of that tax if you participate in the goat feeder. By being a member of the goat feeder, then you get to reap the rewards that is like the system keeps building itself up. It's kind of like just a flywheel that keeps getting more and more momentum as more and more people use it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I just want to grab that question out there from Luna C Point as well. There is no cap on the validator NFTs. That's actually the unique trait about our NFT contract is if you have the pulse to mint it, we'll definitely take it and give you an NFT to represent it. It's just a slice of the pie, right? More slices of the pie to go between more people. That's how it is. Because why would we say no to another 500,000 pulse that gives us, a step closer to another validator stake, that benefits everybody? We thought unlimited minting was the best way to go. So the answer is yes, go for your life.
Yeah, and I would also like to, so Alex Santos question, or what it is that he put in the chat there. Richard would say to not buy NFTs, but this is so interesting, right? Well, here's the thing. When he said that, right? He said that when they were just GIFs, right?
Yep.
Just JPEGs and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now NFTs have become something else entirely. NFTs have utilization to them so that they can be used for other things. Now, would you want to buy like, just Bored Ape, right? That's just a JPEG. Doesn't matter. However, what happens if you're playing a game and you go and you buy an NFT from that game? Well, now you can use that NFT, all right? Now it's a good thing to buy them. So you can, this is old thinking, right? When Richard said that was back then. This is now, okay? Now it's different.
Yeah.
And you're asking, someone was asking earlier if we've seen any trends with NFTs. One of the coolest things I've seen lately since ours was the tank top guy. We just had him on our stream the other night. and where you can actually do like messaging and stuff and send pictures back and forth between that's really cool stuff. I mean, like this guy's pushing the boundaries of what NFTs are capable of, with all the sidechain stuff he's running and everything. So yeah, shout out to Drac.
That's an awesome,
really
yeah,
cool guy.
They have an awesome project over there. For the folks that were not in Vegas for the Pulse Chain Tour Live, they were part of the Pitch Fest, and I believe they got second place in it. But the general idea is that using some of the Tangang NFTs, what they do is they use Web3 technology on Web2 infrastructure to open you up and use your NFT as the start and final source for messaging, video sharing, that kind of stuff. It's a very interesting concept. So shout out to those guys. They're building something very cool.
Excellent. On the subject of building cool things, I want to roll back a little bit, and I want to talk about the goat feeder next. So we've covered the NFTs, we've covered like the goat token itself. The next coolest thing is the feeder, and this is honestly my favorite. Well, you know, the whole thing is my favorite, but the feeder is really cool because it kicks out 0.5% every day. So like if you invest like, you know, $200, then after $200 or after 200 days, then you can get your $200 back. And if you wait longer than 200 days, then you start getting more money than you put into it back. And it also recompounds. Anytime you interact with this protocol, it takes the yield that you've been earning up until that point, and it recompounds it back into your stake. So I'm gonna try and butcher it if I explain it. Can you guys talk a little bit about the goat feeder?
If you don't mind putting the screen share back up, we'll give you a visual too.
We can run down through that.
We have our producer back. Yes, we have Mrs.
Yeah, she's
producer,
waiting.
if you wouldn't mind.
There we go.
Excellent.
Cool. Yeah, we'll get to the
Hey,
feeders.
real quick, while I got everybody here, I'm going to go ahead and copy your goat paper PDF, and I'm going to put it in the YouTube chat just so that anybody who wants to follow along, you can check out the actual document here, and this has all of the details. If you're lost, this is probably going to be the thing to answer 99% of your questions.
And for the 1% of the questions that don't get answered in that, you have our Telegram chat to join. So,
that's that's another cool thing. Your guys' Telegram chat. So for the folks that don't know, these guys are basically live 24/7. I've maybe hopped into their chat and seen them not live like one time at like 3 a.m. or something like that. But these guys are literally they're in a YouTube or in a Telegram call basically 24/7. So like I've had questions before where I'm like, hey, why is my NFT not appearing? And they're like, oh, because we haven't updated the IPFS and blah da. Or like, hey, where does the this go? How does this work? How does the blah da? And they just answer the questions fucking on Johnny on the spot. It's awesome. Yep. They're super cool in there. So
well, I mean, I feel like you when you're running a project, community engagement and just being available to your community is very, very important. And I've got nothing better to do because I do this for a living. I've been job free for 3 years. I've been pretty blessed. My community's got me where I'm at, and I'm here for my community. So that's how I do it. So
I love it, man.
Yeah.
So the goat feeder. What have we got right here?
The goat feeder. This one here. This one is basically our first flagship contract that we built on top of Goat Token. It was released in October on the same day as Goat. We thought we'd kick them both off on day 0, I guess. Goat feeder. You deposit DAI into Goat feeder, and you earn 0.5% daily on your current balance. Right. So basically, like Will was explaining before, indeed, there is the strategy, I guess, where you could throw in, you wait 200 days, you get your initial back, and then you've got more. But here's the thing: feeder actually grows with proper maintenance and care, right? So basically, how to explain this? We forked the Elephant Money feeder contract, the futures contract, and turned it into this one, right? Yep. Sheep, what can you do this one, man? Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, two of these contracts, because if anybody's familiar with the Elephant Money ecosystem, because we go way back to Bank Teller days, old Tron days, and stuff like that. I've been friends with him since 2018. We actually took 2 of these contracts, his trumpet model, and the futures model, and we kind of blended them together, right? So this feeder contract is actually a straight copy of the futures contract over there on BSC, because we're like, you know what? I think we can do it better. I think if we bring it to Pulse Chain, I think any contract that's running on Pulse Chain that's doing okay, or has somewhat of some kind of success on another chain is going to do 10,000 times better on Pulse Chain. And that's
So-
kind of the idea of why we decided to do this.
Can you give us a quick elevator pitch of it for the folks who don't know anything? Because I've never heard of these other protocols before.
For sure. Yeah. Well, basically, so the feeder,
the feeder
go ahead.
is a cash flow engine. Feeder is a cash flow engine. You throw in some money, you get 0.5% daily. Really, really simple, right? To compound your earnings requires a 200 die deposit. You claim your earnings anytime, and it comes out of your current balance. So basically, 0.5% daily is based on your current balance. So if you have, say, 20,000 die in your current balance, that means you're getting $50 a day, right? Is that right? $100 a day.
No, $100 a day. $100 a day.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry, my math is
right
off
now
today.
I'm getting $50 a day with my 11,000 in here. So
There you go.
I have my last action was 5 days ago when I did my last compound, and now I've got $295 here ready to print out. And the thing about this, because a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a Ponzi, whatever." The way we squash that is this is not a Ponzi because it's based on the price appreciation of Pulse, right? This when somebody comes in there and they deposit, it's actually making an investment into the longevity and the price appreciation of Pulse over time. So 90% of your deposit is going to go into the GOAT pen, which actually just sits there in GOAT. And just as the price of Pulse goes up, this naturally goes up, and this plus this right here, which is the other 10%. So 90% goes in here as GOAT, right? And then the other 10% goes in here in the buffer pool, which kind of takes the smaller like payouts where the smaller guys are taking out like anything less than 1% a day. Will come out of here. If it's over 1% a day, it'll come out of here, out of the big. We call this our treasury, our Bertha type, treasury, and this is what grows the most value over time, right? Because this is just DAI. This is just DAI sitting in US dollars the whole time. This actually has the backing of GOAT, and being that it's backed with PLS, it goes up in value. So it's kind of
right. And see, the point that I was raising before is that when we have more GOAT in the GOAT pen is exactly how the yield how the yield grows for this for us to be able to pay out, right? Remember how I explained that every application and contract that we've built on top of our ecosystem here hits those mint and redeem functions of GOAT that puts that 5% fee of W Pulse amount handled on that GOAT single asset backing. That's exactly how we're able to do what we do, right?
So what this is seeming like to me right now is
Hold on, Nate,
this seems like something you would want to do during the bear, right?
Yeah,
when
this
things
is
are
very
going
much
down.
a bear market type thing because
exactly.
you're building your balance very steadily using stable coins. You know, a lot of people do like to rest in stables during the bear, so this is a good way to make regular deposits of your stables, and then you get that cash flow effect of that 0.5% daily during the bear, and then as the bull's coming in, you've still got that flow coming back into your wallet every day, so you don't have to move assets around or juggle between this token, that token while everything's mooning. You've got that extra print every single day coming from the feeder if you need it, Yeah.
Okay, so
absolutely.
Fox Mulder, I would like to address your question then. What if Pulse tanks? So basically what they're talking about here is that this here is kind of like passive income for when you've got enough that you can constantly take out and like pay bills with, right? That's what they're saying. This is going to be one of those things that you want to do when prices are going down. You pull out in the stables, and that's like, okay, what am I going to do with my stables? Right here. Just throw them in, passive income.
And we actually have a game plan. We have a game plan for the whole Pulse tanks.
One more thing, Sheep, and then
ahead,
I was going to say, if you can scroll down for me, you see down the bottom there where it says DAI deposited 226,173. That's how much DAI is basically put in by everybody right now. That's everybody's balances added up together right now. You see that USD TVL? How that's almost double that number. Right, that means that right now, if we needed to, for whatever reason, if feeder needed to come down for whatever reason, or if we felt that it needed to come down to pay everybody out, basically we'd be able to pay everybody's balances and still have change left over, And I think that sort of leads into what Sheep was going to share as well.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You took the words out of my mouth, Donnie. Yeah,
we do have a contingency
this is the one part of the contract that we actually do have admin controls over, because we don't want anybody to get screwed in this. When we get to the top of the bull market and we feel like maybe she might be a little tipsy or tippy toppy, and we need to make a move to make sure that everybody gets at least their investment back, and we feel like we have at least a couple years to play with this thing. for it to go. And I feel like this thing's going to go. It's like the numbers here, once Pulse really starts moving, because it's already been mind blowing to me. Once Pulse starts knocking off zeros, you're going to see this thing grow exponentially, right? Yeah, yeah, it is juicy TVL, right? But this is the one part of the contract that we do have control of, because we do not want to see anybody get fucked if we do end up, we end up in a situation, right? So this is the one part of the contract that we do have control over. We can take this at any time. We can just take this and cash it out, and this number right here will be taken care of. Nobody's going to lose. That's our one goal with the feeders, to make sure that nobody loses. With this, we didn't want to renounce this part of the contract for a reason, because of that, because of the what ifs. You never know. This is all experimental too. I mean, we started off with an experimental idea that's actually really working well. Five months in, we got a guy in here who deposited $50,000, and he's making like $2,700 a month, and he's not even touching this. Like, and we also have stats here to prove. Actually, this I don't know if you want to share this out there. You can actually keep an eye on our treasuries and stuff like that, because this is all public record too. This right here is actually our. You can see the growth that we've had. This is the buffer pool, just up and to the right, kind of just going sideways right now. As we get more deposits in there, that'll come up even more. Here's our goat pen, the goat pen supply chart. You can see, just even with these guys taking big chunks out, they're not even really budging it at this time. So, and here's the big one. Actually, our TVL has come down a little bit since Pulse has come down, but as soon as Pulse turns back around, this thing's going to skyrocket because of all the deposits, all those $200 compounds. They don't seem like much, but that's what basically DCAs this whole project into Pulse as Pulse increases in price, right? So this is going to turn around. As soon as Pulse turns around, you're going to see this thing rocket, and it's going to go back up to another all-time high on the TVL, because we're going to have our ups and downs. We're going to, that's just the way it goes. But this thing is built to last, and that's what I just want everybody to say. Like, don't be scared if the TVL goes down a little bit. We've been as high as, like, I think almost 600,000, and we're down to 400,000 now. But the game plan hasn't changed at all. And absolutely, you'd be better off. This is not something you want to throw all your Pulse into, because Pulse is going to go up a lot faster, and that's the whole game plan. The whole theory behind this is Pulse is going to go up in value way faster than you're going to be printing dollars out of this thing. So you don't want to throw all your Pulse in here. This is something to throw a little bit on the side, just to print a little bit of extra money, maybe to pay the water bill, or maybe to whatever. We it's however you want to play it is how you want to play it. But the strategy here is 3 weeks of compounding and 1 week withdrawal. So 3 weeks, you're going to take your $200, compound whatever you made over those 3 weeks, and then that last week you withdraw, and that's your money to take home. And then that means that you're only taking out 12 withdrawals over the whole year. And that makes that, if everybody does that, and everybody so far has been doing that, it makes it pretty sustainable. And we're not, this is not budging at all. It's really, so we're super excited about this. My dog's driving me nuts. I got to take
really the thing that actually makes the difference here is that because GOAT and that mint redeem price rises even without people depositing in the feeder, means that we don't depend on people depositing into feeder to be able to pay out. That definitely gets it going, and that gives us the ability to grow. But the GOAT grows independent of that anyway. It is really where the difference is at. And I just want to get what Fox Mulder asked out there as regards to whether it's audited or not. Our contracts are not audited thus far. Okay. However, Degen Protocol does have a very strict policy that we publicly verify all of our contract source code on the well-known Block Explorer. So you can actually go and look up all of our contract addresses and see the code behind them. And on top of that, again, just to mention, the GOAT feeder is built as a fork of the Elephant Money code from their application futures. So I do believe they actually carry an audit for that one. If you wanted to review the notes on that, you could with relative similarity, because about the only aspects that we actually changed between that and ours is how the collateral ends up getting turned into GOAT as opposed to getting turned into what they had for their side.
Mm-hmm. And for everyone else watching, so if you're kind of on the fence of looking at something like this, here's something that I look at when looking at a new project, right? Because this is all newer to me as well. So as soon as they started talking about the GOAT feeder, I'm like, okay, well, that's definitely not something I want to be in during the bull market and while things are rising. So then I simply asked the question, and I just and the way that I put it is literally like, hey, this looks like a bear market only type of thing in stables. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that came out of your mouth was, yes, you want to do this during the bear. And that was the purpose of it. Now, what that's telling me is that you guys are honest. You guys are legitimately trying to make something for people to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to use in all aspects. Because unfortunately, a lot of projects these days, what they do is they build it for the bear market when everybody's throwing money all over the place and say, oh, you know, do this, do this, do this, do this. But the second you're like, oh, but what about the bad times, right? They're like, oh, well, you know, let's not think about that right now.
You bet the
Yeah.
full market,
Let's
right?
Yeah, no.
Right.
Pardon my French for a minute, but fuck that. I mean, you know, DGen Protocol was built on the foundation of, you know, we are of our people and of our community. You know, the whole reason we exist and the reason we thrive is because, you know, we literally share and live like this space with one another, sharing information and making sure that people don't get screwed. You know, we hate hearing
Yeah.
that projects go tits up and that people get hurt and ruined. You know, and that's
Yeah.
exactly it. It's like I said, it's all for the community. That's
stuff
what we're
sucks.
about. And yeah, you know, so
Yeah. And we
Well, I'll tell
absolutely
you
know
what,
that this
then,
is not going to.
we degens are fucking a lot alike
Sorry, go
then,
ahead.
because that's exactly why we have the Degen Roundtable as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we know that this is not something that's going to last forever, right? We knew that out the gate when we created it, and we're that's why we left that one part of the contract open to where if we had to pull the plug, we can, and everybody's going to be made whole, right? So we're not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass. Oh yeah, you know, it's going to be here 10 years from now. Who knows? I mean, if Pulse goes to a penny plus, I mean, this thing could literally run just with what it's got in the tank right now. It could run for, I mean, I've done the math, I think like 5 years or something like that, you know, like, so, I mean, we do see it running quite some time and people are going to make a lot of fucking money with it, but to run forever, no, it's, you know, eventually the compounding, everything's going to catch up. And yeah.
To say forever or 10 years also, I think, is somewhat technologically irresponsible in a way because, you know, look, one thing we have absolutely seen about crypto, Pulse chain or Solana or whatever chain or, you know, technology out there, it's all moving so fast. It's all evolving at such a rapid pace that to have adaptability and the ability to pivot, you know, in one's project and what you're building is paramount to survival almost, you know. You see so many projects out there that's throwing the keys away as somewhat of a marketing point, and it works to a certain extent, but then they have no way to adapt when a curveball is thrown, you know? So
yeah.
And also, I just want to throw out there that I've already made a like, you know, no expectations from the work of others, but I'm also I am publicly a PDI maxi, and I am one of the biggest holders of PDI. And I've already said it on many of my streams that when PDI goes to $1, I'm going to take 1 million of those dollars. I'm going to dump it into the buffer pool or into the goat pen, just to you know, just to say thank you to the community that's really just kicking ass and that believed in us all the way, you know, and we'll make it run for a lot longer, you know, like it's you know, I love my community and I love what we got here, and yes, PDI to $1, let's fucking go, right?
Fuck yeah.
I was gonna actually ask, do you guys accept PDI? Because that's one of my bigger scratchers.
Well, that's
actually, we have an upcoming change. We actually have something for that. We do have an upcoming thing for that. Yes. So on our website, you know that lottery tab that you see there. There's 2 game modes on that one, right? There's the one that you buy a lottery ticket for $1 a hit, right?
Yep.
The 1,500 tickets and all that. But then the one further down the page is the big roller jackpot, right? So you can actually guess 5 numbers in a row, and you can guess as many rows as you want. It's $3 a turn, right? And we're actually going to change that up to use PDI because it's building up a jackpot of PDI in there as well, right?
Yes.
So we will actually have that very shortly as well, is to use PDI for that jackpot component. Yeah.
I think
for the
one of the
jackpot
projects...
that's already...
Yeah, the mega jackpot.
It's already in PDI, right?
Did Cos already deploy that? I think he did, didn't he?
We talk about it every day on the stream, dude. We're up to 206. We're up to 200.
Yeah, no. I know the prize is in there, but has he already done the deposit part where you play in PDI as well?
Oh, we play in PDI. No. Okay, no, we haven't got there yet. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That changes upcoming.
You'll support these guys.
Gentlemen, real quick, I think the lottery is the one project that you guys built that we haven't touched on. So what's the elevator pitch for that one?
Hold on, before we hop into the lottery, I've got like 20 chats here started from the community, so I'm going to do a quick little community shout out. I want to thank all you guys here for watching, and give yourselves a pat on the back. Make sure that if you're not subscribed to these Degen Protocol guys, go over there, show them some love. Go hop on over into their Telegram. The links are down there in the Chiron. They're also in the description below, so you guys can find all these dudes, their Twitters, their Telegrams, their Facebooks, all the good stuff. So go show them some love wherever that might be. We're gonna go ahead and hop into
is now my new my new Facebook buddy from last night.
Yes, yes, indeed.
I love it.
I
Thank
speak about it all the time. I'm
Appreciate
super fully doxxed on everything, so you guys can find my Facebook,
Yep,
you can find my
so
Twitter,
am
you can
I.
find
Yep.
everything. I love it. But moving into the community, big shout out to the community. First of the starred chats, we got Paul Sachs with Only Crackers show tonight. Allegedly, I am a quarter black, but I can neither confirm nor deny that. That is
Holy
the
crackers.
that is the running joke.
There's a good reason for that joke. It's a
All right.
Oh
it's
my
a long
God,
one.
dude.
Yeah, so when I
Oh,
used
that's
a
fucking
shittier
funny.
camera back in the beginning of the streams, I would show up as very, very tan. And also it was summertime. We got large in charge. Hell
That's
yeah, large,
awesome.
let's fucking go. I love it. We got David Lee Durr, love and light, cause I can. Hell yeah. Go David. It's excelente. Next we got Haitiano 1982 with DYSYP.
Oh,
I'm not sure what that means.
Oh yeah, that's another inside thing too. That's because
Okay.
Yeah.
when we first launched our protocol, we had like a sticker going around that was oh yeah, any of the scammers that come in, like the scammer chicks that come in and try to we send the the sticker. Do you shave your pussy? Right. So,
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Do you shave your pussy? Excellent.
yeah. So that's
Absolutely.
what that is.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
let
there's
the
a story.
audience
There's a backstory behind that. Yeah.
I'm gonna let the audience guess the answer to that for all 5
Total
panelists
DJ.
here.
Yeah.
I
Little
love it.
did I know
Next
there
up-
were different kinds of scammers. We've only got Nigerian princes. You guys have a very different kind of scamming going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna use that.
We get a
Yo,
lot of
so
shit over there.
super quick little caveat. Actually, you know what? Never. I'm not gonna go into that story because we'll get
Oh my God.
canceled. Next up
What's up,
in the
Tam Tam?
chats, we got Tam Tam. Aloha, Tam Tam. One of our biggest and best cheerleaders, Tam Tam in the space. She
Love
is
it.
super duper supportive of everything in the hexagon zone. Shout out to Tam Tam. Next up, we got Crypto Bones. Hell yeah, Crypto Bones. It looks like you're a moderator over on the Degen
What's
protocol
up, Buzz?
on the
Yep.
Black Cheap.
He goes
Fuck
way
yeah,
back.
what's up?
He remembers when we were doing our streams, and I only had it was me, him, and like 2 other people watching. So,
Hell yeah. Excellent.
way
All
back.
right. Next up, we got David Lee Durr again. I switched to alt account to double support today. Oh yeah. So this is probably Moondog. Shout out to Moondog. Apologies, bro. We there's like, it's really annoying. There's a ban button right next to like the star button or something to that extent when you're moderating on YouTube. And so if we want to start channels and someone else like type something in and your name bumps up, and it's like you can accidentally hit that ban button. So glad to have you using using your alt account in your back.
I'm
What's
not
up?
going to say that if you have Moon in your name, you're more likely to be put in a timeout, but he is one of the 2 people that has gone to the dark side of the moon. First
Oh,
one,
shit.
notably, was Moon Pilled Rational Optics.
Yeah,
so
so
we might have
we've
to
sent-
start
Oh,
like a
love it.
little challenge coin club for these boys or something if they,
Oh, that's
they
gonna
go
Dark
to the
side
dark
of the
side of the
moon.
moon.
That's
You
Yeah.
just
excellent.
created that, Z. That's fucking hilarious.
Bro.
That is weird. Only 2 people, and Moon has been in both names.
Yep.
If I had a nickel
Shout
for
out
every time
to,
it happened, I'd only have 2, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Shout out to
Very
all
cool.
the folks that keep getting banned. Next up, we got Jason Smith with a gents and a little square. I'm not sure what that emoji is. I'm using StreamYard right now. So gents and emoji. So shout out to Jason. We also got Crypto Life and Lounge. Let's fucking goat. I love it. Hell yeah.
Oh, yep.
Emojis.
There's Greg
Crypto
Finney.
Bones. Crypto
One
Bones
of our
just
guys.
subbed to the channel. Hell yeah. We appreciate the support. Not sure which channel you sub to, but hey, we're all happy that that you're part of the family here. Philly Trades, what's up, Degen? Repping with my Degen protocol fam. Abso-fucking-lutely. We love to see it. And then next, he threw in a super chat. 199.
Oh,
Let's
love
fucking go. So, fun fact: you guys can tell when people are iPhone users or when they're Android users based on if it's a 99 cent, then that means they're iPhone. If they're like round numbers, then that means they're Android. And then we got other
Oh,
folks
really?
that can do.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's the default, anyways.
I didn't know that.
Now
Wow.
you can know that. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Fox Mulder with talking about the goat feeder. Hell yeah, he was asking some good questions earlier. Thank you, Fox. We appreciate that. Then we got Russ, no job, lol, so jelly, or job free. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so we'll touch on that if we have time, Black Sheep. But I've heard some of your streams before. You talk about like rolling around and doing band stuff and living off like 20K a year and doing the whole
Yep.
Degen life and stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I greatly.
I just subscribed to your channel too. I wasn't actually subscribed, so I'm a part of the
yeah.
family too. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. We love to see it. Next up, we got Crypto Chronic with What's Poppin' Degen Bros, and he's got the little class. So cheers to you, mate. Happy St. Patty's Day to everyone
What up?
watching at home
Yep.
and drinking and stuff.
Everybody got the drinks.
Then we got, I love it. Then we got Wallow with the salute, Black Sheep, Donnie D. Let's fucking go. We appreciate it. Oh, and a
Wallow,
little
yep.
dab. That's cool. I don't know how that shows up
How
on
did you do
StreamYard.
that? That's cool.
That's nifty. I like it. And then we got Crypto Sloth in the house. Yo, yo, yo. What is up, my friend Crypto Sloth? Good to see you, amigo. Good to see you. It's always great when we see the fam in the chat. And then Moondog up here with the 5555, the Quattro Cinco.
Woo!
The Quattro Cinco super chat.
I love it.
Shout out to you, Moondog. Accumulation tool for eyes. Oh man, these are a lot of emojis. For I see monkey. Oh, is it monkey see monkey?
It's
see no evil, hear
eyes
no evil.
to see, ears to hear, and y/patient.
Oh man, dude, Moon, you've got some excellent emoji usage, bro. And sometimes I feel like I'm reading Webding's chat whenever I read your messages, but I fucking love it, bro. You're so unique, so unique.
Right.
Super appreciate the forthright integrity for the system as a whole, and then he's got the yin yang with the way right in the middle. I appreciate it, Moondog. Yeah, these guys got some fantastic integrity and some excellent projects that they got going over there at the Degen protocol. So absolutely. Then we got Hexkin lost in Asia, present and accounted for. No AWOL, no UA for this man. There is no AWOL in the Marine Corps. So shout out to our Marines lost over in Asia. We love to see it, bro. Semper Fi, all that good stuff. And then Philly Trades. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to read that one. That's in the chat. So you guys can read that on your own. All right. So where were we? What we were talking about? We had covered the goat feeder. We covered the NFTs. We covered
Lottery,
a little bit of
baby.
the lottery. Yeah, let's go over the lottery a little bit. So one of the things that I love about your guys' stream is that Crypto Black Sheet over here, in his benevolence and his generosity, he's always giving away tickets to the lottery every fucking stream.
Yep.
This guy is spending money, sending it out to the community, buys
Yep.
one for himself,
Right out of
and
my
then
pocket.
takes it out. Yep, I love it. I love it. And this man's living in an RV, so shout out to the mobile lifestyle. I super duper appreciate that. I'm in a shipping container right now myself. For those of you who don't know, I live in a shipping container, and so I can totally relate and appreciate the mobile and simple lifestyle.
Oh yeah. Get the little tiny house thing going on. Nice.
Cool. Sort of. It belongs to the company that I work for. So I travel around the States and I build TV towers. And so like I live rent free in this shipping container instead of going and buying hotels and Airbnbs and stuff. So I get to bank all my per diem and DCA into the Degen protocol and stuff. So
that actually sounds pretty cool, because I know one of the first things I want to do when I retire, or buy back my time, is I want to travel, right?
Yep.
So why not just get like a camper and just go around the United States and see a bunch of places? That'd be really awesome.
Right.
It sounds cool because I'm doing a good job selling it, but it's actually it's quite stressful, and it's very like you live on the seat of your pants. I basically live out of my truck, and I live out of a shipping container and hotels and stuff. So I've learned how to be very adaptable on the road. But enough about me. Let's talk about this lottery, guys. Zenith, what was the questions that you had for the lottery?
Just for the lottery, I want to ask the why. Why make a lottery? I mean, obviously, I think part of the answer is probably going to be fun, but why the lottery as a part of this whole portfolio?
Realistically, engagement was the primary directive on that one. While we had the live stream every single day, and we love looking at the stats of Goat and Goat Feeder, really we wanted something extra on our platform that would help to draw more people in, at a much cheaper margin, and what not a better way to do that than say, hey, give us $1, maybe you win, So we built the lottery system out, and then the way that it was sort of built out is just one that meant to every single day, like you guys pointed out on the live stream, Sheep will buy one for himself and then one for a lucky audience member, maybe several in a day if he's feeling good, but really it's all about the engagement.
Yeah, and he gave me a little bit more content because now I do my shorts every day, and the goat has the magic word every day, right? So
that's it too. Yeah, the social outreach, because like every single day there's the shorts with that Sheep does, and then that lines up with the video of the day or the live stream. It's it's really helped us to expand the audience that we're broadcasting to.
That's
you want to show the screen again real quick? We can run through it.
Go for it. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good idea. I know I'm guilty of this sometimes, which is I try to be the white collar suit and tie approach to onboarding people, but at the same time, the crypto space, there's tons of room for anything and everything to go on. So using a project like this as just like a bit of a fun, but also a reason to get eyeballs on the screen or to follow you makes complete sense in that regard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
basically, we reached out to our good friend Cos to help us out with this one, and he gave us the basis of what we built our lottery out to be. So the idea is that you buy one ticket for $1. There's 1,500 tickets sold each round, and once the round is concluded, one lucky winner wins 1,000 die. And yeah, basically it works out that the other 500 goes through to the goat pen every time someone buys the tickets through those gradual portions that are cut away. So yeah, each round just issues out a 1,000 die prize. You can see there's 882 of them remaining right now.
Yep, this is our second round, and the first round was kind of funny because Donnie actually won it, but he had the biggest stack. He was like the biggest buyer, so he actually won it. But he gave most of it back, and I just basically just doubled the payouts or the giveaways every day.
I do just want to put it out there. When I did have that win, I actually sent 100 dice straight to Sheep, saying, "Yo, dude, use this to buy tickets for people on the stream now." And then I actually sent a further 250 die worth of goats straight to the goat pen as like a, hey, boost the collateralization type thing,
We have fun with it, it just gives us something to do every day. It gets people are in there doing their hashtags, because we have the StreamYard giveaway tool thing we use. And people, I think people like it for the most part. I don't think anybody's had a single complaint about it. It's just kind of something fun that just gives us a little bit more to because our streams, you can only talk about, the goat, the goat token and this and that so much, every day. And then we went, so we added that, and then we also switched this up. So this is what we were talking about earlier, the mega jackpot down below, where you can actually pick five random numbers. And when P-Dye hits $1, I have a feeling that people are going to be trying to get this jackpot, right? Because it's already at 260,000. It could go to $1 million, by the time P-Dye hits $1, and that'll be $1 million that somebody could win with just 5 lucky numbers, And I feel like this is gonna get crazy. It hasn't really seen its day yet. I think it's going to see a lot more, and then a little bit of each ticket bot goes into the goat pen to help sustain the treasury. It's not a whole lot, but it works, and every little bit helps.
This is a lot of fun. You guys have really come up with a lot of fun stuff with this.
Yeah, we wanted like DJ Playground, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was about to say. This is one of those things you're like, hey, why not? Let's have some fun with this, and you literally just start making it.
Exactly. It's all about fun, man. We just love to have fun. As you can see from my short videos every day, I love to have fun. I'm a crazy fuck. Nobody does it like me, and I get a lot of comments like, "Oh, your videos are so cringe." Well, you know what? You just commented on my shit, and you gave me more visibility. Now my shorts are blowing up. I'm getting like anywhere from 400, like we're averaging about 200 to 400 views a day on just my shorts, and that's good. It's just bringing more visibility to the program, to the protocol, and I love what I do, man. I'm not gonna change for anybody. You guys think that I'm cringe? I don't care. Like I said in today's video, fuck you. I'm gonna keep doing it. This is what I do.
I've got a bit of a technical question. This might be slightly too autistic per se, but so looking at your mega jackpot thing where it's guessed the 5 numbers in a row, is that the 5 numbers that you put in, are those like single digits, like 0 through 9?
Yeah, so there is a range limit of 0 to 20 inclusive.
Oh, 0 to 20.
Yeah,
interesting.
So basically,
that changes my math greatly.
Yeah, the odds of winning is basically described as 15,000 to 1 by initial guesses.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if we want to run a quick analysis on this, so if you have 20 numbers, that means that you effectively, or it's 0 through 20 or 1 through 20?
It's 1 through 20.
1 through 20.
Doesn't take a 0.
You don't get 0.
Yeah.
You can't have 0. That's right. It's 1 through 20.
Gotcha. So that means that each of those numbers has a 0.05% or 0.05 out of 1 chance of being right. If you do that to the 5th, that comes out to 0.000000313. To put that in layman's terms, that's pretty much 1 in 3.2 million odds of getting it right. So theoretically, once you pass $3.2 million in that jackpot, it is statistically advantageous to put money in there. Your EV is actually positive at that point.
Yeah. You're right, and I feel like it's going to go a lot further than that. By the time P-Dye does get to $1. Go ahead, Donnie.
I was going to say, can you redescribe that in a little bit more peanut brain terms? Because that kind of just
Peanut brain terms.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the probability of you guessing any one of those numbers correctly is 5%.
Yeah.
You now have 5 different numbers that you have to guess correctly, and they all have to be correct. To do the math on this, what you have to do is multiply 5% by itself 5 different times. And every time you multiply a number that's less than 1 by itself, it keeps getting smaller and smaller. So you end up with that like 6 zeros and a 313. And then if you take the inverse of that, that'll put it in the other way around of 1 in however many odds.
I'm actually
There's
pretty
an
sure
engineering
the code,
background coming out, huh?
I'm pretty sure
I'm a
the
nerd.
code also actually dictates a term where you have to have the numbers in the right order as well.
Ah,
Oh,
there we go.
fuck.
That's another thing. Now we're talking about
Oh.
permutations versus combinations.
Oh, so this make. Oh, Jesus.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, because
Basically,
number
good
1,
luck.
number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5.
Yeah, basically good
yeah.
luck. That's gonna be
Yeah.
stupidly freaking huge when that eventually goes off. You know?
Yeah,
The,
Huh.
the-
yeah.
Imagine
the
actually
point
winning
is-
that. That'd be wild.
Right.
Yeah.
the-
I mean, even winning it
guys
right
have
now, you
effectively-
know.
you guys have effectively created the pulse chain Powerball, so I guess that's pretty cool right there.
Zenith has big peanut brains.
Big peanut brains.
I love that
Yes.
comment. Oh my god.
Look,
Yeah,
I
it's a
occupy the
little
left
fun.
side of the IQ bell curve. Me and Will happily sit over there.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's just something fun, you know. Obviously, it's a gamble. I mean, this is not something that you're guaranteed to win, and you know, DYOR and all that NFA and all that shit. We just have fun with it, you know. We like to. I like to give back to my community, so I give a few tickets away every day. If I happen to win it, I'm going to give away even more tickets every day, you know. And it's just a lot of fun, and it just gives us engagement, and that's basically what it's here for. It's nothing too
Beautiful.
crazy to. Yeah.
All right,
And
gentlemen,
then,
I got another question for you if we're ready, Will.
yeah. Go ahead.
Are we
Go
ready?
ahead.
All right.
Yes.
So earlier on, you guys mentioned that you wanted to build on Pulse Chain. So my understanding is that means you guys are pretty all in on this whole Pulse Chain thing. So wanted to get your opinion, your take on where you think Pulse Chain is right now as far as like an entire ecosystem, and if there are any gaps that you see are open or waiting to be filled by people to build new projects. Like, are there any functionalities or like projects that we need to really help round out the space?
You first, sheep.
I think we pretty much have we have a lot of stuff here, man. We have a lot of good stuff. Like you got the liquid loans protocol, which is, you know, a solid project, and I think that's one of the because we want real DeFi products, right? Like we have out there on that start on Ethereum and all that stuff. So what are you guys laughing about?
we like liquid loans, so it's hilarious that you guys brought that one up as the number one.
No,
Okay,
it's going on in the private chat right now, so you can go ahead and see that if you
okay.
want to.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
So sheep had moved his head over to the side of like his camera space, and while Nate moved his head over, and it looked like he was kissing your ear there for a second. So I was just having a little giggle.
Thank you for that.
Sorry for the derail, everybody. Now you got to know a little bit of what's
Let
going
me
on.
give you a high five, buddy. Let's build
Do the
some
high
bridges,
five.
right? Like,
Yep, there we go. Excellent. I love it.
like nerd girl. Oh man, yeah, it was great meeting you in Vegas. By the way, Zenith it was.
Yeah, dude, we had
yeah,
an awesome
pretty cool,
time.
dude.
By the way,
Yeah.
if anybody has a chance to go to the Pulse Chain Tour live events, they are an
Oh, yeah.
absolute blast. I had a
They're-
chance to go to one in Phoenix previously. We had like 25 people show up and we just hung out in a clubhouse and RG3 cooked for everybody. And then we also had
Yeah.
something like Vegas this time where there was literally like
Yeah.
over 100 or maybe 200 people there. And then for
Yeah.
4 or 5 days, everyone just went hard. And what I
So,
thought was
yeah.
kind of cool
I've
is
heard they're coming to Australia, and if they are, best believe your boy gonna be there.
Yep.
there we go.
Yep.
So if
Hell
you get
yeah.
a chance, check it out. It's pulsechaintour.com. .com, I think. And they have
PulseChainTour.com.
tickets.
Yeah, and that's where you get the true vibe of what Pulse Chain's all about, man. Because this community is just amazing. You're not gonna get this vibe anywhere. Yeah, you can get your Jeets, Solana Jeets out there on Twitter and your little, you know, this and that, but you're not gonna get what you have right here on Pulse Chain, and that's why I love it. I mean, I've loved it since Hex launched. I mean, it's just a different vibe, different community, and because I've been in since April of 2020. You know, everybody's calling it a scam. I'm like, I gotta check this thing out.
Ah,
You call it a
scam, you
scam.
say.
I'm
Tell me
gonna
more.
check out the scam because you know I'm outside the box thinker, and you know, people call me a scammer, call our shit scam, and all this shit. You know, people like that they make people miss out on opportunities. So I'm always going to dig deeper. You know, if it's an obvious scam, I'll be like, yeah, that's a scam.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. All right, I'm going to try to
Yeah.
bring us back here. So, in the Pulse Chain ecosystem, here's some of the major pillars that I see. Obviously, we have our main exchange with like PulseX, then we also have Incentive Token. When it comes to DeFi lending, we have Liquid Loans and the Earn protocol. I think Power City guys are also in there as well. We even have NFT space going on with Mintra, and obviously the Tangang guys are notorious for being hyper positive about all the stuff going on. As far as the only pillars, or I guess real areas that we haven't had explored, in my opinion, is like, I don't think we have a real GameFi project. We have plenty of meme coins, I'll say that much. But as far as like a GameFi or maybe like a GambleFi product, I don't know of any large ones that have really been putting themselves out there or even exist. So that's what I'm seeing. What are you guys seeing?
There's a cool one coming out. We had the Pulse Wars guy, Ali, on our I think his name's Ali.
Yeah, that's right. That guy.
Ali
Kane. Yeah. So he actually come out and jumped up on our live stream to show about how he's actually already starting to build a game on Pulse Chain that sort of looks to unite multiple projects that are on Pulse Chain that do NFTs already, and sort of integrate those into like a battlegrounds type thing. In competitive tournament pools each week or whatever. I think there's like 20 rounds or something. He did a full presentation and definitely encourage you to scroll back through our streams and check it out. We hosted him up there to see it, but to be honest, if I could say one thing that is definitely missing from Pulse Chain, there's maybe one or two, and I don't know if I got my head in the sand on this one, but I've heard of maybe 2 Oracle services. One that's actually posing any sort of legitimate capability right now. We need.
Hey Donnie, for the folks at home, what is an Oracle service?
Right. Okay. In a nutshell, Chainlink. Oracle services. They what they do is they import real world and Web 2 data into a format and into Web 3, basically. So let's say, for example, if I build like I don't know, let's say for intents, we have a crypto dApp that uses the weather in America for some metric or whatever, right? We'd be able to use an Oracle, right, which is a complicated sort of group of computers that tell the truth of a fact in real world or Web 2. And we sort of import that into Web 3. That's what an Oracle does. An Oracle is really designed to get that information and do so in a reliable fashion to bring it to Web 3, right? Because no crypto Web 3 anything has the ability to tell the weather or, look at outer space or anything like that, or even get, any of this information we deal with on a real world basis. But it is still useful. And so oracles give us a means to do so and get that information on chain truthfully.
That makes sense. So if we did get like 1 or 2 or even a couple oracles on Pulse Chain, what would that do for the ecosystem in your opinion?
Realistically, that would bring about a lot more stability. I think there are a lot more DeFi pillars that can be built on top of oracles. Especially, look, I'm not suggesting that Tomb forks are any sort of good, but those right there in particular could benefit from having an Oracle system because they operate on time, weight, average price. So there's a lot of different mechanisms, not just in DeFi, but really a lot that need that real world information. Hell, if we wanted to, theoretically, if there was an exchange out there that listed PLS, we'd want an Oracle service that could import that exchange's order book prices on chain somehow. That might also be useful for like an arbitrage platform or an aggregator of some kind. But we need oracles to do that. And like I said, I think we just need a little bit more legitimate force behind that sort of thing.
Makes sense. Just as an example for the folks at home, an Oracle service is something you could imagine is like, how much you hate having to actually use an insurance company where you have to go talk to them and haggle with them, be like, oh, is this covered or not? Instead, imagine if you're a crop farmer and you have some sort of weather insurance. An Oracle service could basically be a barometer or a thermometer that says like, hey, we are your insurance company. We create a smart contract with you. If you have 5 days in a row that are below freezing between the months of like March and September, then we're going to pay out your insurance premium for you. So pretty much you use the Oracle to determine and read the weather and the temperature, and then the smart contract takes that information, and if those things are triggered, you just automatically get paid out on the blockchain. That's the kind of thing we're talking about here.
Yes.
Love it.
Beautiful example. Wonderful.
There we go. And I think over time we're gonna have more and more stuff built, and we're just in the baby stages of Pulse Chain. So it's coming, and right now I love what we have. You know, I don't think we need it's just gonna, if you build it, they will come, and we got one of the best platforms, best communities that we have out there, and they're gonna come. They're gonna come. The floodgates are gonna open, and yeah. Hey, you got Degen protocol. What more do you need? Let's go.
Degen Roundtable.
That's true.
Put them together.
Right. Yep. We got the Degens, meet the Degens. I love this. It's really
the
cool.
idea of if you build it, they will come, I think is especially true on Pulse Chain. I have seen more people excited to build on Pulse Chain than anywhere else. And I think part of that is because it's pretty much Ethereum infrastructure, but just run much better because we have faster throughput time, cheaper gas fees, and honestly, just a community that is very just rabid about being in the space and being involved.
Something I will tell you as like one of those developers that's like out there building and deploying things like this. It is like, honestly, despite that we have a lack of these infrastructure things right now, Block Explorer, you know, it has been an absolute delight to build on Pulse Chain. It is easy, it's fast, it's cheap. What the hell more could you really ask for? You know?
That's true.
Right.
By the way, I did want to ask you guys this towards the end of the stream, which we're getting to a little bit now, but for anybody out there that wants to start building a project, how do you get involved in that? Do you need like certain education, training, so to speak? Like what was your journey into building Web3 applications?
So realistically, I started out like with a fascination in high school of like building websites. You know, it started all with like how my favorite website was put together. I eventually started investigating the code behind it. Like, oh, if I change this tag to say this instead, well, what happens to the website? And so really, I taught myself how to code through trial and error. You know, websites were just cool. You know, I figured, I don't know, in my own head at that time, if you had a website of your own, you were cool. You know, so I learned how to build websites. Eventually,
I bet you're building a mean MySpace pages back in the day, or was that before you got into
that was before my time, brother. That was before my time.
That's funny, right? It's funny. I feel so old now.
I know a few of us here had MySpaces. You're not alone there, Black Sheep.
Right?
Hey, I know what MySpace is. You know, just never.
No, but that's where people always had their pimped out profiles and shit. We're like, how'd you do that?
Oh man, I did hear about
to pimp out your profile. Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you guys ever become
HTML.
Sammy's friend? Did you guys ever become Sammy's friend?
Sammy or Sammy? I mean,
Sammy.
I've confirmed my friendship.
Sammy Chica?
Oh, no. Okay, that was a MySpace thing. So way back in the day, right, there was this guy named Sammy who was actually like, he actually got in a bunch of trouble legally because he wrote this piece of JavaScript on his MySpace that if you viewed his profile, it'd friend all of your friends with him, and then it'd copy the script to your profile so that if your friends viewed, he'd get he was the biggest friend list. Like, he had the biggest friend list because of this auto JavaScript thing that would copy itself across people's MySpace pages.
He used some exploit,
like a
and the whole
cross-site scripting, right? Cross-site.
Yeah, that's it. Cross-site scripting. Yeah, and so the whole exploit, he actually called it Sammy. Sammy is my friend.
Yep.
That's kind of hilarious. That's like the first like MySpace almost virus kind of. But that's an interesting functionality.
Yeah, because like once upon a time, you used to be able to put your own custom JavaScript on your profile page on MySpace, right? And so he worked out how to write the code that would auto-friend and then copy that same code to your profile, you know? So
it's a pretty genius shit.
Interesting.
That's awesome.
Nobody caught that one, building that shit. Nobody
got it. So Donnie, it sounds like you're a bit of an HTML OG, if you say. So how do you go from the archaic HTML to Web3? How'd you get there?
Okay, so my history is a bit blurred, but really quickly, it goes from HTML. I got into like Visual Basic, making Windows programs for a while, actually making the web browser as opposed to the web space. Then, shit, I don't know how the bloody hell I got into crypto. Hey, I just joined a Telegram one day. I signed up to Coinbase. I put $15 into it was Bitcoin, ETH, and something else. I joined a Telegram, found Ethereum Classic, and then yeah, like
Ethereum Classic.
That's
where you
basically
first
it. You know,
right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Ethereum Classic, I found a project that needed a website. I gave them the website that I made, and then I eventually found a group of friends, was introduced to Degen Protocol through that. And then, yeah, like I said, about 2.5 years ago, I signed on with Degen Protocol, and I've never been happier. So
makes sense. So as far as Web3 programming goes, how much of a leap is it from like normal website programming? Is it like its own beast, or is it just like one little extra thing?
It's really, if you know your tools, if you know how to write websites, or if you know how to do TypeScript or JavaScript, you know how to make dApps. It's really not that hard, okay? There is a bunch of really good tools out there by a bunch of industry professionals. Look, what we use on our website is we use Rainbow Kit, which is actually like a full-on like automatic wallet connection utility. We just plug that into our website, and then it gives us the ability to connect to contracts, you know? There's a lot of tools out there that make it so you don't have to know the ins and outs of everything, right? You just have to know how to use your tools to begin with, you know?
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Black Sheep, how did you get involved in all this? What's your role? Are you a hardcore developer engineer guy like Donnie, more of like a manager?
No,
What's your piece
not
on
at all.
this?
That shit's fucking Chinese to me, bro. No,
He frequently tells me that he would hate to have my job.
No, my first introduction to crypto was a Ponzi where I lost $2,000 right out the gate, and I was hooked. It was almost like because I'm born and raised here in Las Vegas, so like gambling was my thing until I found crypto. I'm like, I don't need gambling anymore. I got crypto now. So yeah, it was kind of just one thing to another. But yeah, it's been a fun journey, man, because just seeing the evolution of crypto, where we had the Web 2 stuff where you'd have to send your money to somebody and they'd have custody of it, and you just pray that you get it back. Now we got the Web 3 stuff where you connect it with your MetaMask and stuff like that. Now it's I don't know are we gonna have Web 4? Is that even gonna be a thing, or what?
That'll probably come with AI, to be truthful.
Oh yeah,
that's probably going to be some kind of a buzzword for the next upgrade. That's what it'll be. Seriously, everybody knows it's Web 3.
I could see
yeah,
it.
it's just
by the way, Black Sheep, I asked you this question in Vegas, and it kind of blew my mind a little bit. But I wanted to know from start to finish what the full like timeline for the development of all these different products was. And if I recall correctly, you said it was like 4 or 5 months.
Wasn't even that. I mean, we were in the brainstorming stages for it was probably probably about that, right? Brainstorming for about a couple months, Donnie, and then we wanted to catch the bottom because we knew Pulse was going to dump in the SEC FUD hit. The SEC FUD hit. We're like, woo, boom, there we go.
Believe it or
There's
not,
our entry
dude,
point, right?
We only spent 6 weeks in planning and like research. I think we spent maybe a month in development, and after that, I think we sat on testnet for 2 months before eventually we're like, fuck this, the bottom's in, let's pull the trigger. You know?
Yeah. It was at that point that we were like, well, because we've seen Spark Swap launched and all that, and then and the Spark Swap helped us launch our stuff, and then but we just it was a blessing, such a blessing to have the SEC come in and I mean, I call it a blessing. I mean, it was like. It was like such a great price point to get in at, and to launch a project from them was just perfect. So
look, we're right there with you. We're not thankful to the SEC and Gary Gensler too much, but I mean, he did kind of do us a little bit of a service on that one to really shake out some weak hands and give people a great DCA opportunity. But
I think
with your guys'
there
point
are gifts
about
that are still going to come from it as well. Plenty of gifts that are still going to come from that. They have not come in the mail yet, but will soon enough.
With your development timeline, as an outsider looking into the whole like tech development process, that just seems like it blows my mind. I think a lot of people out there probably look at these massive projects, especially something like your guys's, where you have multiple projects in your wheelhouse, and then to say that it only took 4 to 5 months and like 6 weeks of that was actual production, and then the other like majority was testnet. That sounds that almost sounds too good to be true.
I think a lot of what lends itself to us and our ability to do that so quickly is that I do not deviate too far from battle tested work. You know, it's like we've explained throughout, multiple of our contracts already. We've forked and based our works on things that have already been out there and already worked. You know, we've changed things where it could have been better, but overall, we're using things that have already been steamrolled and used in the past. You know, and we're just building on that to make it better, doing it right. You know.
Yeah, and I think that's where I came up with the 4-month thing or whatever, because we were actually keeping an eye on I mean Elephant Money's success for a little while, and that's where we're kind of saying, hey, we started throwing darts and saying, hey, what if we did this, and because I mean, once you have something that, like you said, is battle tested, and it's proven to work, it's gonna work even better on Pulse Chain. That's where we because Pulse Chain is the shit.
When something
my God,
works,
I love it.
Don't change it. I mean, even the simple LP staking pool that's on our website. Did you know you can actually go back to Synthetics, right? The guys that make those synth tokens on ETH or whatever. Their staking rewards contract is what that's based upon. It's literally just that, and that's what 2019 tech that is still ticking and hasn't changed because it works.
Hey, if it works, it works. That's the truth.
Yeah, we got more coming too. I don't know. We didn't get a chance to touch on GoatX much, but that's the big, that's gonna be like the pinnacle, the cream of the crop, the icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be. I think that's gonna be because if you guys are, I'm sure all you guys or most of you guys are familiar with Titan X, and you've seen how the. We feel like we feel like there's some things that could have been improved. And we're not just going to make a straight up copy of it. We're going to bring some of our A game to the table. We've got Kaz, one of our other developers, working in the background on that, and we're going to improve on it. And just because it's backed with Goat, it's going to make it even better because the Goat is backed with PLS, which makes it even better, right? So
let's go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and give us the quick spiel? So there might be folks at home who don't understand what Titan X is, and this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to do the little elevator pitch and the your game plan for it. So let's hop right on into it because I was going to be the next thing I was going to ask about.
It's all me, huh? Put me on the spot. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so there's been a little bit of an evolution with the whole the Titan X game, right? So first of all, they fucked up going on ETH.
Before we go into that, can you do like a quick little explanation of what Titan X is? Because most people probably know, but there's bound to be a somebody who's going to watch this on a replay or someone somewhere who won't know what Titan X is. So for those guys, what is the quick and dirty of Titan X?
What? How would you explain Titan X, Donnie?
Titan X is basically it's a yield staking platform, basically, right? It uses ETH and it uses the concentration and market growth of ETH in order to pay out those who ultimately end up proving that they can hold the longest, right? They use a method whereby you put in ETH, you get tokens, you stake those tokens, and basically you then earn the yield through their protocol. And again, those who go in and those who stay the longest are purportedly the ones who end up being rewarded the most because they obviously proved their strong hands. Right.
There you go.
Luna C Point in the comments sums it up beautifully. Combination
I like
of Hex,
that.
Zen, and BNB.
I saw that comment. Yep.
I
love that comment. Yep.
There's been many iterations of the concept. There's been, several forks of Titan X already, including DripX on BNB, which some will definitely say is doing better than, or I would say doing different than, probably better, but definitely different.
And for the ascending, man, no, it didn't rug. It's just it launched on ETH, dude, and the gas fees are so ridiculously high. I don't know if they are now still, but the gas fees were so ridiculously high to even unstake the shit. Like you pretty much have to be a whale to get in there right out the gate to make any money. I went in myself with I got in about the second or third month and I put in 10K and I got out 30K, but you can't even do that anymore, right? It's because the difficulty's gone up so much and there's a lot of variables there. And I feel like their T rank was kind of paying out a little bit too much because basically it dropped 60% and I still made a 3x my money. So try to explain that to me how that was.
Yeah, the T rank was a bit of a thing that the T rank is the kick in the nuts, really.
and that's something that we're bringing to the table. We actually have a meeting with Kaz and that Ali is the guy from Pulse Wars, because they were actually in the mastermind group when Jake Sharp actually launched his started launching the project, and they had they were throwing around ideas and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff that I like what they did there, because they obviously they still have like what, 15 to 30 million dollars in buybacks, and that's the key ingredient, is because those buybacks set it apart from Zen, where you actually there's no buybacks on Zen. Okay, Zen has a Zen, you just got to hope people start buying it or whatever. But the fact that they have all those buybacks built up, and we got a little secret ingredient for the buybacks too, right? So we got a lot of stuff, and we're still in the brainstorming stages, and that's why we have this meeting on Tuesday with Kaz and with Ali, because they were in the mastermind group. It basically helped launch Titan X, and so we feel like we got a good team of good people that understand the whole theory behind it, and I feel like, with what we just seen with Drip X, which I'm an old school dripper. I made almost $1 million on Drip back in 2021. And that community is huge too. It's like another, it's almost like another Hex community. They're just diehard fucking drip. Even though Drip went to shit, and but they didn't give up, because the community is still there, right? It doesn't matter if it goes to shit. The community is still there, and they still support it. And the inflation's gone now, so I feel like there is a chance for that to do well. And I just feel like, dude, we're gonna do even better. So that's my whole, even though I don't completely understand the whole concept, but that's I feel like what we're going to bring is going to be way better, because we have a good team. We have a good we have all of our intentions are very good here, and we have a lot of good brains in our group. We have some of the most brilliant minds in our group that I've come across. Go ahead, Donnie.
One of the biggest things that that is important about Goat X is that instead of basing it on PLS or ETH directly, right, is that we're actually going to be basing it on top of Goat as well, right? This is another thing that we're building on top of Goat. People will go in with fresh PLS that'll get turned into Goat as it gets first thing in the door, but basically it's based on Goat. And so the whole point is that, like, basically we're going to create it where, look, for those who do understand how these X things work, right? Let me explain this, right? When you start to claim from your stakes, you're going to basically end up getting Goat, right? And so with Goat, there's two ways out of Goat, as it stands. There's via the DEX, which makes it lower for someone else to jump in, or there's the redemption function, which is the single asset backing, and there's that 5% fee that goes towards boosting our mint redeem price. Either way, whichever path you take, you're going to make it easier for the price to go up. Every time someone sells, every time someone then takes the arbitrage opportunity as a result of either price moving, means that those exiting out of Goat X will basically end up pumping the price of Goat as a result.
Yep.
It's gonna be cool. And then Pulse just keeps moving up, and dude, I'm telling you, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be the icing on the cake. I think it's gonna be the best product that we're gonna launch to date. That's why we're not rushing it. We have nothing but time. Like we're not gonna we do not want to launch any garbage products here at Degen Protocol, and we never will, never have, never will. But this is gonna really boost everything that we've done so far. It's gonna I don't know how we're gonna top this.
How much time do you think you have left?
Super excited about it. Within the next month or two, probably
the next month or two.
I would give it. I would give it 2 months.
Like the next month or two. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say you might want to do it before the Ethereum ETFs get launched, because that's when things are really gonna start going wild.
Juicy, yeah.
But
I love it.
But that's an entire thesis that we, the Degen Roundtable, are going to be doing here soon enough.
Brown says, "I got 5 buckaroonies on it." Nice.
Oh, nice.
I love it,
Farmer
man.
J.
Cool,
There's
man.
another Degen in the chat.
Farmer J.
Actually, I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and run through our starred chats from Mrs. Producer. So, a big shout out to the community. Shout out to the folks in the chat. We got Crypto Claz, excuse me. Morning Degens. I believe that she had to dip out a little bit ago. She had to do some stuff. She might be over there in the New Zealand or Australia zone as well. It's
it's
like
evening here.
a little after noon time for you guys, right? Something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
It's about 10 to lunchtime over here. It's 10 to 12 in the afternoon.
Okay.
It's 10 to 12 in the morning. Sorry. Yeah.
So basically,
Yeah,
if I
he's
look
on-
straight down through the earth, I'm gonna find you.
Yeah, he's on Monday.
I'm looking up. I'm looking up, but I can't see you, man.
He's on Monday though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys
that's
have
true,
St.
yeah.
Patrick's Day over there, Donnie?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
He's like, I drink every day. Fuck it.
Hey,
Exactly.
it's a good excuse to drink, man. So maybe you should have that holiday anyways.
Well, there's booze
Right?
in the fridge. I'm just waiting for a break to go get one.
There you go. All right. Well, here we go. I'm going to shout out some more chats so
Go ahead.
you can take advantage of that opportunity. Next up, we got Tin Top with "What Up Hexicans." Hey, what up, Tin Top? Had nothing but hex in the house today. Next, we got Drip
Love it.
Fortune. Drip X is better than Titan. I can't say I know much about Drip X. I'm very pleased with my actions on Titan. I
Yeah.
was lucky enough to meet up with Crypto Kool-Aid roundabouts like day 30 of Titan X,
cool.
and I don't know shit about it, but he was like, "Hey man,
Yep.
here's this super cool degenerate play that I'm doing," and I think I did like a 5x or something
Yeah.
off of my mine, and it was like the price had gone down about like
Yeah.
50% from when I had entered, and I still got a 5x on what I put in. So like if the price had
Yeah, it was
appreciated,
good.
it would have.
And
It
DripX
was
is actually doing really good too. I
Yeah.
like what they're doing there. Yeah.
okay, and you said that's over on Binance.
It's on
The-
Binance. Yep. Binance Smart
Okay.
Chain. Yep.
I've never
That's where we made-
once ventured over to Binance. I don't know anything
Yeah,
about
he
that.
says he wants
Oh
to bring
man,
it
you
over
should
to Pulse
you
now.
should have met us about what 2020 early 2021. Dude, we fucking smashed it, man. I put in $20,000 at the like April 2021, and by like September or October, I was making $20,000 a day on that thing. That's how I paid off this RV, and I got a Hellcat truck out there and shit, dude. Like I
Yeah.
like seriously crushed it, man. Shout out to 4X
That is-
and BB. They
that is
changed a
beyond
lot of lives in
wild.
our community. So that's why I was able to basically quit my job and sustain this for the last 3 years. So like I give credit where credit is due, man. Like the drip community is fucking badass, and I think it's gonna do well. So
Hell yeah. Next up, we got Funkmaster Hex saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening to you too, Mr. Funkmaster Hex. I'm all out of my regular drink, so I'm gonna have this green screen bubbly because it's. Oh, you can see the smile. That's so cool.
that's awesome.
I got me a floating smile, sparkling water. So shout out to you,
Oh,
Mr.
cool.
Funkmaster Hex.
Dope.
And then next up, we got Brown. He's got 5 buckaroonies in. So yeah, Brown's putting 5 buckaroonies in on this Goat X apparently when it launches. And Brown's a fucking degenerate, man. I met Brown over in Vegas for the man. I wish I'd have known about you guys while I was over in Vegas. We took down 4 of the old emergency AM radio broadcast towers up by where 215 is, just north of Nellis, over by the racetrack.
Oh,
So we knocked those towers down. I got some cool videos and stuff on my Instagram of us out there with like chop saws cutting the
cool.
wires, and it's just like kaboom.
Is that what
Super
you
fun.
do? You do some you set up towers and stuff, or just destroy towers?
I build, maintain, destroy, and modify television and radio broadcast towers. I don't do the cell tower stuff. We make fun of those guys because they only go like 100 foot up in the air. We're up there. At
Oh,
like
you go way
2,000,
up.
1,500.
You go way up.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Where people are base jumping off of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually there's a lot of places that they have a lot of problems with base jumpers going and jumping off their towers, but I think it's hilarious, and I'm just a little worker bee, so I don't care. But yeah, so next time I'm over in Vegas, I'll definitely hit you up. But I met Brown.
Yeah, man, hit me up.
We call
Farmer
Brown Farmer J because that's his original name. But dude, Brown's a fucking degen. He would fit right in with this crew. Brown is fucking fun as hell.
Oh yeah, man.
And that does it for all of the go to the dark side, Will BSC. I don't know. I've never tried Binance Smart Chain, Miss Lunacy.
It's a scary chain, right? It's definitely scary. A lot of scammers over there. You got to be careful.
That's what I heard. But I don't know much about it.
It's got to be in the right projects. That's all. There's a lot. I mean, no, you want to talk about a scary chain? Fucking Solana. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the new one right there.
You're losing
They
your
just
fucking ass
fucking-
real quick over there.
Didn't they
Well,
just?
keep-
I think they just smashed out Ethereum not too long ago for like.
Yeah, they did.
Pull up
smashed
Farmer
out
J's
Binance.
last chat.
Yeah, they just
Pull up
passed
Farmer
him in,
J's.
Yeah, he's got
transaction
something for you, Will.
5 buckaroonies. Oh,
We know
Farmer
we know why
J.
you climb towers. That's
volume.
why.
He steals copper.
In between his dumpster diving.
Oh fuck yeah, Brown. I love it. Yo, actually, it's funny you say
Okay.
that. when we demoed those towers over in Vegas, they were full of wiring conduit for like the lights that blink and stuff. And
Okay.
the tower, like the site owners, they were demolishing everything because they're turning that whole lot into like one of those big Amazon distro warehouses and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're
yeah.
like, hey, we just need everything taken off the property, so we don't care what you do with it. And so my boss was like, hey boys, like as your little bonus for getting this job done quickly, like if you guys like get rid of all this metal, then you could just keep whatever the scrap price is and everything. So me and my brother and my coworker were out there with chop saws, like chopping towers up and like pulling the copper out. We made probably like $5,000 just off of all the steel and all the copper and everything put together. So that was a nice little
Hell
bonus.
yeah,
for,
man!
like,
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right. For the
Bro.
people that know, there are plenty of unit morale funds that have been funded purely off the scrap metal and scrap copper costs.
Yes. Yes. So definitely and I don't recommend touching towers while they're live. Like when they're broadcasting, if you go and try and steal the copper, you will die. So I
think
don't
they did
recommend
a-
it.
People have done studies on how long you need to leave a turkey on some sort of radar spinning activated radar dish just to see how long
Yep.
it cooks. I mean, it's like 9 hours, but at the same time,
Yeah.
I don't want to get
Yeah.
cooked.
Yeah, bro, they cook the
'cause
same way as microwaves. It's just an outside
Yeah, it's
microwave.
microwave, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like
You
if
will
I
get
climb
fucking
up into
blasted.
a TV antenna aperture, like, and they don't power down, then I'll be cooking. And like you literally
wow.
feel the moisture inside your body dry up, so your eyes will get dry at first. And then like if you have a metal retainer or something, it'll start heating up. And like you
Oh my
can pass
God.
through it in like 30 seconds and be okay if you're like climbing through it or whatever. But we generally
Right.
don't like to, be inside that RF because that shit's no bueno.
Oh, that's
Well, I
crazy.
think we figured out why you're so tan.
Oh yeah, because I'm
And bald.
yeah, I'm fucking losing all my hair because I'm climbing through all these towers. and shit.
Hey, I'm catching up to you, bro. It's all
Yep,
good. I'm
there you
catching
go.
up, so.
That's why your
Yeah, I
brother
just-
has a nice head of hair and you're just bald
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
I said screw it, man. I'm going
That
bald.
makes
I'm going
complete
all the way.
sense.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theory confirmed.
Hey, you guys can't
I
see it,
love
but
it,
I've
man.
actually got a receding hairline as well. And one thing as well to keep in mind, okay, Captain Picard was a member of the Proud Bald Men's Association. So,
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Absolutely. Will is radioactive. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right, Farmer Jay. I'm radioactive. I got all those little gamma particles and everything fusing off of me. Well, listen, gentlemen, we've been going for about 2 hours now.
Great
We didn't
stream,
even
bro.
get to.
Thank you. Thank you
didn't
so
even get
much.
to-
Zenith, you're amazing. Will, you're amazing. Nate, thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate you.
Oh
all.
yeah, we
Fucking-
appreciate it, bro. We're gonna definitely have to do this again sometime when you
Oh,
guys
I'd
got
love
that.
to come on anytime, man. I feel
oh,
right at
fuck
home
yeah.
here. With DJs, meet the DJs. Hire me on.
This
Let's
is-
go.
This has been absolutely great. Next time we'll have to. I want to go a little bit deeper into the goat stuff and into the
Well, next time
function
we'll be able to
island.
talk about Goat X, and you'll be able to see
Yeah.
the chart flying.
Oh,
and,
fuck
and you'll see the after effects. So
Yeah,
thank you
for
so
sure.
much.
All right. So let's go ahead and start wrapping up. So we're gonna do basically a little reverse introductions where we're gonna say like where the people can find us, like what it is that we're working on in the near future, and all that good
Yep.
stuff. So Zenith, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Pass it over to Nate, then Donnie and Black Sheep will do their goodbyes, and then I'll close us out, and then Mrs. Producer,
Yep.
if you can go ahead and get that trigger finger ready for the closing outro, we'll go ahead and do that. But before we go, folks, remember to like, subscribe, comment, bitch, moan, complain, do all those great things. Give us all sorts of feedback and everything. Subscribe to both of these channels. Go hang out with the Degen folks over in their Telegram. Come hang out with us
Please
in
do.
our Telegram. If you guys want to, we got that fancy schmancy little QR code right over there that you guys can scan and click and stuff. I'll get to all that when it's my turn. But Zenith, why don't you go ahead and tell the folks where they can find you and what you got going on in the near future.
Will do. This week, I actually get the week off from hosting the book club. It is Will's turn to host book club. This Friday, we're covering chapter 1 of Sci-Vive. There's a beautiful audiobook put out on YouTube for free by our very own Wild SJ of the Pulse Chain community and part of RG3 Team who
I
put
love
on the
SJ.
Pulse Chain tour. Yeah, SJ is fantastic. So if you get a chance, go ahead and share her some love as well. And we're going to try to see how many episodes we can get her on for as well. As far as me, though, you can catch me at Zenith DI on the Instagram and Twitters. My link tree is also linktree/Zenith DI, as well as Hexco Space Force on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. That's the meme page that I run, as well as a little bit of education and entertainment on that side of the house. On top of that, 2 weeks from now, 2 Fridays from now. How about this? That is going to be March 29th. I will be hosting book club again. We're going to be covering Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and we're going to have special guest RG3 because he was the one that recommended it to us. So we're going to have book club with RG3. It's going to be a blast. And then after that, we have another one of my flagship projects, which is coming out on March 31st. We're going to be covering the Q2 2024 thesis presented by the Degen Roundtable. So we're going to be covering everything from the ETF aftermath and the actual happening is happening this time for real, part 2. Yes. So that's what we got going on. I will pass it over to Nate. Thank you guys very much.
Hell yeah, guys. I mean, hey, we're a bunch of degens over here. We're having a good old time. Like, if you're not on our side as well as these guys' side, what are you doing? We all need to group together here. This is definitely a great combination over here for sure. I just realized
we have 93 viewers out there on our Twitter page right now. So shout out to all this fucking badass motherfuckers. Oh my god, sorry to cut you off, Nate. I just had to
100%, man, 100%. No, this is. It's kind of funny how we're over here just having a lot of fun, right? And it's all good times, but we're also trying to help people actually succeed as well, and it's I mean, being a true degen is having fun, helping everybody succeed, and making sure that we all make it, right? That's it's fantastic. Speaking of, I do have consultations open. Again, I'm just about booked out every single day, but go ahead, just hit me up in my link tree that I need to go retrieve as of currently.
That's okay. You got 7 seconds before the guys over on YouTube will hear us talk about it. They actually see the chats before they hear us talking about what we're posting in the chat, so we got plenty of time. By the way, Donnie and Black Sheep, if you guys got any links you guys want us to drop, go ahead and put it in the private chat. I've got all the links that I sent you guys earlier. I'm going to be dropping those in the chats as well as you guys do.
I think I sent you all the links. I mean, yeah, join our Telegram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do this every single day, and yeah, I mean, yeah. You had all the links that I sent you earlier, right? That's pretty much where you can find us. I mean, we're every day on our YouTube channel, every day in our Telegram, and there you go. And then t.me/degen. You already got it. See, you're good.
Yep.
Okay. Right on. But yep, we are out here every single day though at the Degen Roundtable. So yeah, go ahead and hit us up. And then I'm going to be hitting you guys up over the Degen protocol, and we're going to be having a lot of fun.
Sure. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we're in the voice chat. You came in the voice chat the other day. It was good to meet you, and you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the time and bringing us over here, and we really appreciate you guys.
Hell yeah. Donnie, why don't you go up next, Donnie? Where can the folks find you? What are you working on in the near future, and all of that stuff?
Yeah, for sure. So pretty much 24/7, you can find me in the Degen Protocol voice chat. So join the Telegram over there, and you always be able to reach out at me there, and I'll never be far behind if I'm not online straight away. We call it rattling the cage. Yep, if you hit up the link donfunction.pls.fyi, that one is actually part of a really cool service that we have on Pulse Chain that we all saw recently called Pulse Domains. That's my customized on-chain link tree where you can find my GitHub, my Twitter, and basically hit me up there as well. Look, if you're into coding and if you want to get into Web3 development, all that sort of thing, definitely hit up the GitHub link that I have from my FYI page, because you'll actually be able to see all of the public code that I post. Frequently, I'm actually dishing out contracts and front end pieces and different code snippets that do help other developers to get started and to get things done in the Web3 space. So I think that's probably what I'm actually up to, aside from just doing what we do here at Degen Protocol. Is very shortly I'll be trying to put more production effort into publishing more code and helping more developers get on board out here. We definitely need them. So
yeah, keep building.
100%. And actually, to kind of go with what you said, they're rattling the cage there. That's something that unfortunately I've been doing lately out there on my Twitter. Which, by the way, go ahead and give me a follow. It's literally just my name, 369. But yeah, I've been sitting here saying that Hexagons need to kind of sit down a little bit and take a chill pill and let Pulse and Pulse X, or Pulse Chain and Pulse X, to take the forefront while They just kind of sit in the background. So people don't like hearing that, unfortunately. But quite frankly, I believe it's the truth. If we really want, our chain to succeed and do everything that the Hexicans really truly want, but they're too used to being the center of attention right now. And it's kind of like, come on, guys, just back up. You go over there. Go over to the corner, please. We got the new kid here.
Yeah, there's so much going on in the space, and I mean, I love Hex and Pulse X and all that shit, but there's so much more. We need to build. We need to keep building, and there's if we can't. This chain's not just going to survive with just the RH coins. I love RH and I love everything he's done, but we have to keep building. We have to keep bringing and keep bringing people, onboarding people. So to whatever it is, I don't care. Meme coins, whatever you got. DGen Protocol, we got a lot of good products here, and we're going to continue to keep building. And I love all you guys.
Speaking of
one big happy family. Love it.
Speaking of loving the folks, I want to give a quick shout out to Brother 64. Brother 64 threw in that $5 Canada Justin bucks from us. So thank you very much, Brother 64. These guys are awesome as well. If you guys don't know who the Brother 64 is, go check them out. I want to say it's Linktree/Brother 64, but they do shorts on YouTube. They do reels on Instagram. They do like all the short form content that just makes super cool Nintendo 64 style content that's generated at just like quick little 60-second blips to help get people of our age in the 30s, 40s, and 20s into the crypto sphere. So
I love
big shout out to
Are the Hex Maxi still crying? Oh my god, this week's been just so crazy about all the fucking Hex bullshit, dude. Oh my god.
Oh,
hey,
man.
I just want to offer some words on that really quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can understand the pain that you guys are going through, and believe me, it is not lost on anyone that there are people out there who might have 15-year stakes given the Quattro Cinco motif and all that, right? So it is definitely not lost on anyone that certainly hurts given the effects of this week. However, there is a certain point where one must pick themselves up off the ground, brush their knees off, and get to work on making something happen about it. Okay, crying is okay, and grieving is fine. Everyone does that shit, but to continue to do so is not productive, and it's certainly not conducive to onboarding more people. Right? We need to focus on what we have and worry about what we can change and control to make the situation better for ourselves. Right?
Just buy the fucking dip, dude. Hex is a brilliant fucking product, dude. It's a financial instrument. It's gonna be fine. Even on ETH, it's gonna come back. It's gonna be fine. Buy the fucking dip. Stop crying. Okay, I'm just done hearing about it. But
exactly.
Fucking come over here. Come over to the Degens. Come over to the Degens. Just come here. We'll treat you nicely.
Look, have a cry, absolutely, but then get up and fucking do something about it. Is basically the essence of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really the tough love that everyone needs to hear is the world is tough. And at the end of the day, the only one who cares about your problems is you. Nobody else wants to hear about that shit. So if you're going to bitch on the internet, then you kind of need to expect for other people to sort of kind of make fun of your problems and things. But realistically, the best medicine for any sort of problem in life is going and getting after something else. Going and okay, cool, problem happened, but now it's time to make stuff. If you sit there and you dwell on the sad things, then it's well, congratulations, you're just going to be stagnant forever. So
and
you're
if you're going to base
right, Donnie.
If you're gonna base your whole crypto career off of Richard Hart tweets, then you're fucking retard. Sorry.
That is one of the most only thing said. Look, the token does not rise and fall on Richard Hart tweeting. The token rises and falls on you guys buying and selling and clicking the buttons.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
Exactly. Doing something about it.
Truth, right?
Yep.
Amen, Zenith.
Absolutely. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you join our Telegram. You guys can find the Degen Roundtable. Oh, goodness. It changed my Bitly. Well,
thanks so much for having us. Love it.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure
Thanks
you guys
for
join
coming
the Degen Roundtable. Type in bit.ly/degenerate_roundtable into your URL to join our Telegram. Go join these guys' Telegram at the Degen Protocol. You guys can find me personally at Linktree/Will Stevenson. That's got all of my information, all of the work that I've done, all the things I plan on doing, and all that other crazy stuff. If you guys are a Hexican and you want to meet other Hexicans, I've made a silly little Telegram chat for Hexicans to go and meet each other, it is t.me/hex_meetup. And this is basically just a mechanism for Hexicans to go out and meet other people at bars and shit. You basically just like type out like what general broad location you're at. You can create a topic that is a whole new location. We've got guys in fucking Switzerland. We've got dudes over in St. Louis. We've got people down in Victoria, both Canada and Australia. We've got folks all over the place. Basically, like you just get in there, you say what location you're at, and if other people are near you, then you can be like, "Hey, yo, let's go grab beers." Right? I started the first. I think there's only been one meetup so far, and it was over here in the Dallas area. I met
That
Tam
actually
Tam. I
sounds
met
totally
Moondog.
sick.
Yeah. So hop on in there,
Cool.
guys. Like share it out to however many people you
Yes.
want to. It's just basically a decentralized meetup thing. You guys don't have to wait for the Pulse Chain tour to come to your town to meet up with other Hexicans. This is just a way for the community to find other people in their area, to reach out and like everything.
cool.
I've got this super cool little like instruction list that sort of kind of tells you how to basically interact with people. And so just hop into that chat, read through the Start Here tab, do a little introduction, hang out with other folks and everything. But that's just some of the stuff that I've made. Make sure, go ahead, Miss Producer, get your trigger finger ready because we're about to end it. Donnie and Black Sheep, we're gonna, if you guys don't mind sticking around after the intro rolls, we'll do a little debrief after the show is over, and then
The
we can all go on our after we do the outro and everything, and then we'll all go on our merry way.
100%.
But we
Yeah.
want to thank you guys.
Yeah.
We want to thank you guys in the community for watching us, and thank you for being with us here so far. To quote Agent J, we know that time is your most valuable asset, and we want to thank you guys for spending that time with us. And with that, we would like to ask you to remember to degen responsibly.